Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. Check. One thing is true. This mic is on, baby. Shout out to everybody here. 91,600 Bitcoin. Struggling. I went over this on Monday night. I did an update for my trading group, and I said it looks like Tuesday's going to be a pullback. It looks like the daily needs to pull back here for Bitcoin. It just doesn't look amazing. I'm disheveled here. Freaking dang, man. Crazy day in the office, as you can only imagine. Shout out to everybody here on the live, and I always forget that these have buttons. We'll get to the charts. I know you don't want to see me make a button, but we'll get to the charts. Shout out to all my lovely people here on the live. First things first, thank you for being here. I'm thirsty as a bird over here. I truly start the day with you. I jump out the shower, put on the suit, and we're ready to go. And I look at price action for what it is, so we can kind of go through it together. If I sat there for, this morning we already went through in the trading group. I had a short cooking. I got cold feet on the jobs data, and then I pulled back on it, lost $60, but there may still be a move in the short. I knew I didn't have a good thesis on. I mean, the short looked actually pretty decent. It was a descending triangle that breaks out, but I got shook on the data, I guess. And I let the data get to my head. Let's see what happened to the jobs data that just came in today at 10 o'clock. And kind of what went down here on Wednesday. JOLTS job data right there. 7.5 million. Actual forecast was 7.6 the previous, so less jobs. Which, puts pressure on the Fed to cut rates, but is negative. It's like a bearish tone. You usually get a pullback when that happens on the NASDAQ, on the S&P. So this is what we saw this morning. I saw this in a bear flag. They did dip it. That's not the bear flag that I traded. I'll show you the bear flag that I traded right now. I have it here on weeks, if I remember correctly, because I just left it sitting there. Should still be there, my TA hanging out. Yeah, there it is. I mean, it looks like a descending triangle, does it not? On the 15-minute time frame, that's a descender. And you're touching the 21 on the other side of the 200. You flip that upside down, that's my model. And so, it looks beautiful. See, when I flip it upside down, you're like, oh my God, it looks perfect. You're like, I would long that. But then you're like, oh, I'm afraid to short. I'm the same way. I don't short as well as I long. It just is what it is. There was a time when I was really good at shorting, back and forth for some reason, and then I kind of found my model. And once I got into my model, it was like my brain just loved the model. And then there's days they'll dump it. I'll get my model tonight at 7 or 8 p.m. So my mind just tells me, just trade your model. It's the best thing possible. But this looks like a short is heavy coming. And that's my daily shot of ginger. Get that ginger extract in you, clean, organic ginger. You can't beat that, right? You can feel the vibrance of it. It's killing parasites. Something's going on there. It's so vibrant. Yeah, so to me, this looks like a short is in order. You're touching the 21 on the other side of the 200. It looks like the short is in order. Again, the short's only a 2-to-1. You see that? So it's like a 500 for $1,000. I don't love 2-to-1 trades, personally. It's not my thing. But the market came in with bearish data. It looks like things aren't looking amazing. So the take profit would be what? 88,000. 88,130. The stop loss would have to be somewhere up there, like 93. I got 93,199. Hold on. No. 93. Yeah, 93.32. So to me, that looks like the most likely scenario, and it's already in the money, technically. If you took it when I first called it, I just felt like it was irresponsible to be in during jobs data. I should just wait for the data to come in. But that looks like it's going to take a dump, right? Not amazing. Do I have the guts to make the call? 300 for 600? I don't like 2-to-1, see? It's already kind of going against my grain. But it looks likely. The probabilities are good that that's going to dump. I get wrecked in front of everyone or I win in front of everyone. It is what it is, man. People think what they want no matter what. If I win, they'll call me a genius and think I'm smart. If I lose, they'll think I'm stupid. You know what I mean? And it's like nothing I can do about it. So, and most of you respect me and love me, so it's the lifers. And God bless everybody here. See what's doing? They changed this like Pionex. I just talk to them. We always talk. We say, it'd be cool to have this same kind of cool movement here. And they listened. And they responded. So I've got the ear to weeks. They listen to us. They listen to my community. They even used my community for a testing incubator. We gave them a bunch of feedback, and they tested it and changed it out for us and kind of showed us what was likely. So to me, 21 above the 200, it's the model upside down. It tells us that we're likely to get somewhere to 88,000. It's a shame. I don't want to see Bitcoin pull back like this. I'd like to see it bounce, actually. Let's take a look at the bigger idea and show you what's cracking for BTC. All right. And you can see we had some support here that we're kind of in. We still got some chop here. But once we lose that, it's 90,800. We lose that, it's 90,194. You can just see the local support zones there on the 15 and the 5-minute time frame. And I think Bitcoin took a nice little dump already there. Yeah, not too great. Little something. But it is more bearish than bullish when you lose the 200 moving average. I teach my students that is a bearish sign. Yesterday, I even gave you the short on the 1 hour. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. It was on the 1 hour time frame. There was a right shoulder on the 1 hour. A head and shoulder pattern that we clearly defined and saw in the trading group. They dumped it. They bearishly retested that key area, and then they flushed it to the downside. I talked about the 4 hour and the daily being too far for the 21-day moving average, specifically the daily time frame. And I said the daily looks like it likely has to reset back to the 21. We're going to break all this down, and I'm going to teach you how to trade, how to see this stuff before it happens, and how to get yourself situated so you too can make it happen. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. You don't have to trade every single day. I pick and choose my trades. Sometimes I might trade 3 or 4 times a week. The older I get, the less I trade. Every year I trade a little bit less a week than I used to. Like this year, I'm sure to trade less than I did last year. More, you know why? Because I learned so much last year. I knew when I overtraded. I knew when I went for things that did it, and now I can see things a lot clearer than I could even see them in October of 2025. And that's good. It's good. I did take some time off from trading towards the end of the year. I took that week and a half, 10 days, and I spent it all with my kids. I did my updates, but I took some nights off from the updates, which I hadn't done in years. I just decided to give my mind a rest. I felt like it was important as a trader. I think it's so important that you give yourself a rest. Mental capital, we talk about it. You got your money in the bank. You've got your mind that you use constantly every day. You use up your mind, and then you can grind yourself down too, right? And there's no mental capital left. You start making bad decisions as a trader because you've just overtraded your brain. You're a human. You need to reset. That's why we go to, think about it, we go to sleep every night, which is almost strange. I find sleep strange sometimes. I feel like we should be able to go for days at a time and then just sleep when we need. And people would be all sleeping at different times. But no, we all get tired. We all can only go like 16, 18 hours. Like we're kind of like weird, right? We're all weird. We all literally have to sleep it's kind of strange. You ever think about it? Like you're going to be unconscious for 8 hours later on tonight into the night. Like you're just going to close your eyes and you're not going to know what's happening in the world. Like half the world is asleep all the time. A third of your life, you're asleep. You live 100 years, 90 years, 30 of those years, you've been asleep. It's mind-boggling. So you think when everyone looks at their life, they're like, I got 40 years to live, but you really don't. You've got 15. You know what I mean? Or you've got like, you've got what? If you're 45 years left, like me, say I get the beauty to live as old as my dad to 76. 36 years left. So that means I don't have 36 years. Because dang near a third of those, I'll be sleeping. And as you get older, you get less time. So like when you're 70 and say you believe to live to 90. I mean, and I'm not trying to scare people. I'm just giving you the reality. I think we abuse our time a little bit too much. We think we have way more than we do. When we really analyze it and get down to brass tacks, dang man, we don't have tons and tons of time. So Bitcoin kind of floundering here. As you can tell, I'm not going for the gusto. I'm not trading huge. I'm just kind of testing the waters today. But the daily does look like we're coming down to that 200 moving average. So I spoke on the small time frames, kind of showing you what I see happening. There is some good support here. Look, resistance. I would love it if we can bounce, man. Hold this zone and not actually dump. It would be beautiful. We're back to break even. And I think trading today is like already the trading today has been You know what I mean? Like, nice short. So, nice short. If you were up at 5, 6 in the morning, there was some good action. Right now, it's a little sideways. I'm going on the probability like a trading bot. It is what it is. No emotions on that trade. Whether I win or lose, it is what it is, right? So, and I'm not really over-risking myself, so I'm excited for what could happen today. You know what's interesting is I remember one day I dropped my daughter off at school at like 8, and I made a trade. I made like 2 trades. Like I traded once, lost. I chased again and lost. 2 losses. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I was like in my head, and I was like, man, the day's already, And I went and drove my daughter, and then I was like, you know what? I got to be positive. Anything could happen. I said, I remember some days, I was like, there was a day a couple years back where I thought it was going to be the worst day ever. And I was like, I remember making a good trade. And I said, yeah, Sam, man, you got to keep your mind positive, bro. I said, I know it's early, but you got to keep your mind positive. And I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. And like, I got home, I scared myself away, and like, I saw a signal, I took it, and then like, bang, like, ended up making like $3,000 that day. And I look back at the end of the day, I smoked that cigar like, you know, like I do in the patio, and I was like, man, you never know what the day's going to be like. I was like, I woke up today thinking, man, 2 losses in a row. And I said, but I told myself to take a deep breath and just let it play out. You know, don't tell yourself what's going to happen today. You don't know that. Stay so open-minded that you could grab any opportunity coming by. So important, everybody. I have to remind myself every single day to stay positive, to be constantly upbeat. It's not easy. You know, some days I think about the death of my mom, I get angry. The death of my father, I miss them. Like, but I can't let that take over my emotions. I have to say, you know what? I had what I had when I had it. And I had so much more than so many. And stay blessed, right? And then I reset. And I get on with my day. You know, you can't let them steal your time. My dad always said, don't let them steal your mind. And who did he mean? He meant anyone that was like willing to get into your head. Politics, the news, you know what I mean? The markets. Don't let them take your time, man. Don't let them take you away from you. You deserve you. You know what I mean? Like you deserve, and what that means is like you deserve to be whole inside of your being and not stressed out all the time by everything else that you're reading and seeing. So let's take a look at my top-down analysis for the day. It looks like we could get a little bit of a bounce. Inverted head and shoulder here on the small time frames, but it's been treachery today. You know, the job data to me is mixed signals because it pushes for a rate cut. Because, hey, we need more jobs. You should cut the rates. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's a little bearish because it's like, you know, I got to say, though, it depends on when this data is retrograded to as well. We did have government shutdown. I don't know, but, you know, it's a smaller portion, but to me, I still would have liked us to hit the forecast or exceed it, you know, hit over it or been over previous. Crude oil inventories will come in. I think that's going to be a big. Shouldn't that skyrocket due to Venezuela? Like, shouldn't this go up like to like millions and bazillions? And that's going to lower the price of crude oil, right? Period. It's going to lower the price of gas at the pump for the average American. It's going to lower the price of goods because goods are going to be cheaper to transport around the country, which is going to offset inflation. Agreed? Which is going to lower prices at the grocery store. Agreed? I mean, there's a bigger thing here. Also, like, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but there was talks, you know, Russia was moving in to put, you know, some type of nuclear base there in Venezuela. Things were getting heated there. People think it's about the oil. It's strategical. It's far more than oil, man. And people say, oh, no. The U.S. has to do what it has to do to protect itself. We had communists and, you know, we had socialism coming strong right below us there. And they were starting to take a stronghold. The Chinese, the Russians, it was getting crazy. There was far more going on down there than you realize. And again, I'm not going to go on into that too much more. But if you think it was all about oil, hey, that was a caveat. That was a cool little jump start. You know, it's like you go for a steak dinner, you find out the soup du jour is amazing. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's funny, but I thought it was pretty good off the cuff. I mean, you tell me. So, but you know what I mean? The oil is the soup du jour. The security is the steak dinner, is that beef ribeye, is that tomahawk. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're just jumping on in, I'm in a short on the 15-minute time frame. Looking for this descending triangle to take us down, down, down for some gains. Possibly to 8,800. I wouldn't like to see that. I love my BTC. But a pullback is a pullback and a thing is a thing. So it is what it is. And that's what we do. All right. So I stick to the script. I trade what I trade. I do the same thing every day. The best traders you'll find have a model. You know, I find some of the best traders use the 15 and the 5 in the morning. We wait for jobs data to come in. It came in negative. We wait for the 21 to touch on either side. If this was bullish, we would have traded. If this looked this way, we would have opened up a long. It looks this way, so we open up a short. You see, it's the same trade. I'm making the same trade that I made yesterday when I made, 2 days ago when I made a long. Short is long and long is short. It's just the 21 and the 200. I'm just learning how to use the moving averages in an offset way. I hope that made you, somebody like, what did he just, what the? Yes, you can too. You can, you will, you are the best. You've got this. You always have been amazing. You just needed someone to tell you you were better than you thought. Because you are. You know, I didn't always have true confidence in myself, and I still struggle some days because we're human. But for the most part, I listen to Jim Rohn and I work out, and I do those two things that help me brainwash myself to believe that I'm confident. I reset my neuroplasticity to believe that I'm confident. You see what I mean? We as humans need to constantly back ourselves up mentally. That's why the news works. They're constantly telling you their story to the point where you don't realize that you've heard. People fall asleep to the news, don't they? Have you ever heard of what happens to your brain? It goes into a beta state. You could be watching like there could be a certain politician that everybody hates on TV, right? I don't know who I'm talking about, but you know. And you could just fall asleep to that online one day. And then you could, after 10 days, 20 days of that, you might just hate that politician. And the reason is you just got like subconsciously brainwashed because you were falling asleep in a theta state while you were getting pumped information. Anyway, let's take a look here at the monthly chart and see what's happening. We are very oversold in the stochastics RSI. We still have hidden bullish divergence. Does that mean we're definitely going to pump? No. I did tell you there's like a 90% chance we break these highs before we break these lows, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen for sure. There's no guarantee. It could be the first time the anomaly doesn't happen. It could be a huge dump. We could have a black swan, something that we never thought, alien invasion. It took all the Bitcoin. I know you're like, what did he just say? My point is, I'm not a know-it-all, and I don't know it all, which means I don't know what will happen tomorrow. I'd like to feel like I'm psychic and I have some good intuition. Sometimes I get a pretty good vibe, and then something happens. Like I was like complaining about my ear the day before Trump got shot in the ear for some reason. It's whatever. That doesn't. Come on, Sam, you're out of your mind. I know, but it was a weird coincidence. You know what I mean? I'm a psychic, I swear. I knew Wuhan. I did kind of tell people about Wuhan before it happened. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, who cares? It's an old story. Some of you can dig it up, but it is what it is. Shout out to the new team bumping out and helping me. I love y'all. Shout out to Zev. Shout out to the whole team. Shout out to Zeno, my wife, and the whole crew. We love you. We appreciate you all. So still hidden bullish divergence on the monthly. This could take so much time to play out. We get two green candles, and then a pump. It may pump in May. We could still dump. I'm looking for just a right shoulder personally. It's the most realistic scenario is a right shoulder. Otherwise, a Livermore cylinder. And we just come up, and we do something like, never know. I'm open-minded. That keeps me grounded. I got the short. We'll see where it goes. I'm not I see other traders, and it's like people will show up. They'll show you their monster trade. They'll be like, I'm up huge. And then you'll see prices right at their liquidation rate or right at their entry. And they'll disappear. You won't see them again. They'll come back a week later and talk about another trade. And you're like, what happened to that trade the other day, though? That's why I show up every day, because I might do the same thing if I didn't have to show up every day to the gulag. You show up every single day, you got to show up to the gulag. You got to tell people what's happening, right? You can't shy away from it anymore. I'll lose this trade today. I lose this trade. I can't hide from that. I'd love to, but it's not happening. All right. Sean, change the thumb. Nobody? Or maybe you did and it just didn't. Change the thumb if you can. You know what I'm saying? You got the same thumb as last time, so I know it's my fault. It's all my fault. They blame me 100%. But just change the, change. Thank you for that too. I see you pinning. You're working hard, Sean. I love you, man. You got the best team in the game. They help me out more than I would ever believe. Yeah. No, you'll be good. No, you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine. Yeah. No worries, though. I get it. You just didn't want to mess anything up. You're 100% right. I love you, brother. Suits up, it shows up, Sammy. Shout out to Rave Song Records. And sorry, today I used the wrong link. I put the wrong stream key in, and I streamed to yesterday's stream key. See, can you take a look at Bitcoin on the 8-hour? Let me know what you think. Thanks, brother. Yeah, I'm going to be looking at it. It's kind of struggling right on the 200. This pattern breaks down 90% of the time. I see it so much. Especially to the upside, it's more 50-50. To the downside, I see it just plummet. It's I'll be so surprised if this doesn't dump. So I'm just giving you a live trade here short on Bitcoin. I could be completely wrong. I do this for a living every day, thousands of days on end. So I've hit so many trades on this live stream, though. It's insane. Yeah. Sam, can you please take a look at Bitcoin on the 8-hour? Yeah. Can you talk to Maxi about the interface? I talk to them all the time about it. I actually made a big change, made sure they got back to their old ways recently. Yeah, but we're you know, it's looking good. So hidden bullish on the monthly is still there. 2-week chart is still very oversold. I don't like the look of that candle on the 2-week chart. That would have to revert back to green personally, or that is a tweezer top. It is, however, holding a support at $86,750. You close a 2-week candle below $86,750. I have to assume we're going to test 82, and it's kind of then starts to really tell the tale of a move back to 70K. And boom, we're back in action. Thank you, Sean, for doing the do, baby. And congratulations to everyone jumping on into the live today. We appreciate you. We thank you so much. Sorry about the confusion with the scheduled live stream and switching streams. We still got 1,000 beautiful people here. I think this last time I didn't do that, I always lose the nuke, you know, so let's just keep it on. And I think it was a good decision. So thank you to the team and everyone that helped me get through that. It's my technical bleep. Sometimes I'm just working out. I'm running in the shower. I'm putting on a suit and tie, and it's all happening so fast. And I'm not nailing it, right? It happens. So, sold some Pokemon cards yesterday. There is so much money to be made out of here. If you think every day you have an opportunity, take it. Amen. Shout out to the Crypto Taco. We love you, man. Thank you. Shout out to Bellico X. So the 2-week chart, you know, Fear and Greed got to 42. I thought that was kind of a strange jump. To me, that's a little odd. In my time, when you're at 10, 20, you got to sit in the 20s to the 30s. Like, how do you just jump to 44? It was a bit weird to me. It's smart, you know, you can see I sold my bigger trade on Monday because I just felt like, you know, and what a smart sell I made, right? At 93,780, something like that. So let's see what happens. And I was it was a very large position, so if I didn't sell, it would have taken a hit. Yeah. Late to the party. The show always goes on. Shout out to Rave Song in the house. Shout out to Stack McChange. Hope you're feeling better, Stack. Nice call, Stack. Shout out to Bellico X in the house. Shout out to my whole team holding me down. Look at the weekly now. The weekly has resistance. Look, it's wicked up to these key areas. It's wicked right to the previous support zone, which makes sense. See, you got to look left to your tweezer bottom. 93,800 was a tweezer bottom for Bitcoin, and so you can see how we just, not only is it 94, but it's 93.8. And I'm telling you about the 800s, man. I learned about it back at 19.8, 21.8, 24.8, you know. The 800s for some whatever market makers, the people that move Bitcoin, they seem to like this 800 number. And they'll use it as support. They'll use it as a heavy resistance prior to the bigger number. Let's take a look at something else, too. When we're done with this, I'm going to take a look at that CME gap. I took a month off from trading, but I'm back. I love to hear that, man. Good for you. I wish I could do that. The algorithm would kick me in the face, and I'd lose years of hard work. So it's just not the time for me. I'm running against the clock on a treadmill, and sometimes I'm still getting chewed up, right? Bounce back for Bitcoin. I'm down to the short. I'd love to see Bitcoin kind of come back with a vengeance here. To me, this data pushes for a rate cut. So it's mixed signals to me. Because when businesses are hurting and they need cheaper loans to make more jobs, if you cut the rates, they could make better. They could make more jobs, right? And again, and that's why, like, when I short, I'm always like, and then watch, it'll pump, it'll cross the 200, my signal will show up, and then I won't trade my signal. And that's why it's like, so I learned kind of one day, it's like either I trade my, it's almost like weird. Like before I traded this signal exclusively, I shorted and longed. Once I found an exclusive signal, it's like I get too much heady about, but what if my signal shows up and I can't take it? You know, it's weird because I know how good the signal is. It's interesting. But I got to stick to one idea and not, you know, mind trip myself. So I'll just stick to the 15-minute and just be okay with what happens, right? Move my stop down a little bit. I just like, what's the reason of losing $300 today when I know the market's sketch? That's why I always look at it like, Market's been tough to trade for me. I'm going to admit it. You know what I mean? And I made good gains. The smaller time frames have been tougher. I still somehow have maneuvered to make money. I don't know how. But the smaller time frames have been tougher for me. God bless you, brethren. Thank you. Also recently switched to just trading the model, and that has helped a lot. Interesting. Yeah. Sam's course is the best. I highly recommend it. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. How about your course, Sammy? Thank you so much, Ninja. I love you, man. I took a huge liquidation and had to reset my head. Trading strategy. I love to hear that. It's been so hard for the last month not to trade, but we're back. And we make gains. I love you. Shout out to the GOAT himself. I can see it. We got a lot of lifers back today. I guess it's willing. It's willing Wednesday. It's will through Wednesday, okay? I call it where we will ourselves through the week with good and positive attitudes. I'm going to come up with a saying for every day. Today is will through Wednesday. All right? We're going to will through. Tomorrow is trustworthy Thursdays, where we're going to trust what we know and back ourselves up. Okay? And Faith Fridays, where we have faith in what we know and believe in ourselves. All right? Savage Saturdays, where we just take over the world. Okay? Secure Sundays, where we get ready and get the bag ready to get secure. All right? Then we have Massacre Mondays, where we make sure we don't get massacred. And then we have Tasty Tuesdays, where things really start to pick up. I love them. And then we will through the week with Willful Wednesday. I just made all that up. I have no idea why or how, but I did. Thank you. Appreciate it for being here. I'm always here, just quiet some days. Plague Dogs, we love you, man. Hey, everyone, when you're quiet, say hi to me. I want to know you're out there. I'm always looking for that connection, that hello. I'm a people person. I'm a people guy. I'm a bird animal. I'm a bird guy. I'm a dog guy. I'm a people guy. No, but seriously, I like animals. I like people. I just like hanging, man. I love conversations. I'll start a conversation just to start a conversation. You'll catch me talking to my neighbor while I'm taking out the trash just to say hi. It's the kind of person I am. I like to say hi. My mom and dad were the same way. People love to chinwag in Boston. It's New England. And in England, all they do is chinwag, right? So we're just like it over there in New England. It's called New England for a reason. Remember, I talked about the 5-day chart. And what have I been saying? Anyone know what I've been saying? I just want to kind of jump into the chat for a second. What have I been saying about the 5-day chart for the last few weeks? Anybody out there sticking to the script? What have I been saying about the 5-day chart? Let's keep Tuesday as Taco Tuesday, because who doesn't like tacos? That's after 6 p.m. All right? And that's why it's tasty, bro. So I think that covers us. You two should give me a plaque for how many views I caused. Thank you so much, man. I love you. Sam is the man. Have been a huge positive influence on my mindset and trading, even after a hard year at 25. My dad went into memory care for his Alzheimer's and dementia. Been a hard year. I'm so sorry to hear that. I know another friend going through that. And I'm watching it happen. Yeah. See, look at the pump back up. Bitcoin, interesting. But just kind of now it's outside of the now it's bearishly retesting. Alejandro Brothers, no, you were saying bear flag. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I asked about the 5-day chart. Bear flag. Yeah. So everyone's answering. Yeah. So we had to assume that the 5-day was in a bear flag because we just have to. Okay? It's not amazing. It's not fun. It's not sexy. I don't like it. It's depressing. It means that we could have a nasty downtrend in this market and that all these people that rushed in. And that's why, you didn't see me DCA into altcoins last week before, you know what I mean? I've got the altcoins I'm willing to hold for the next few cycles. We're going to go over all that every Thursday night in my weekly screen share. Get ready. Next week, we'll be back on with my weekly screen share. I did take 2 weeks off with my family. And there was something else that was good. It was traveling, and I had things going on. It was a Christmas night, I think, on Thursday night. And I think one was New Year's or something. I think they were almost so they were at very poignant family times where I'm saying most people didn't want to come to a screen share, but I'm sure you guys would have showed up anyway. That's what's amazing about the lifers. So it's not horrible. Look, there is a tweezer top here that could hold support at 90,500. There's a chance that holds. There's a chance we bounce. It's not all horrible. This candle will close in 3 days and 9 hours and give us more information. But don't be surprised if it comes all the way back down to here. Maybe we pump back up. Maybe we spend another 20 days going sideways in here before the bigger move. Everyone thinks we're going to get our decision now because it's 2026 now. But like, you can be in chop and as long as you need to be in chop. To me, I mean, it's likely, you got to assume it's a bear market. You've been below the daily 200 moving average for more than a month now, 2 months. You lost it here on November 3rd. You're still below it. So 3-day chart is looking like it's going to close at tweezer top. That is bearish. Yes, it could stay above the 200 moving average. Yes, it may be making a right shoulder. That's all. We might just be making a right shoulder. This isn't the worst. I'm open-minded. But I don't have the confirmation right now, and I can see that the bigger time frames today are going to close something bearish. Last 2 times we did this, we had some type of pullback. Even here, you know what I mean? But it's been nuts. That was a nasty dump. But whenever a red candle closes next to a green one, on a bigger time frame, daily, 3-day, 2-week, weekly, I'm paying attention. Because I know it's likely that it's going to give us more downside. Here we are on the daily. Last night we closed a tweezer top. A red candle next to a green one. It wasn't a bearish engulfer, but the wick engulfed it. And it, you know, and again, I said it's interesting. It still had, it was slightly a bullish pin bar. But when I don't really care about what happens below the tweezer, I really don't. All I'm looking at is red and green, 2 wicks, man. That is bearish. If you open up a trade, you know, just like I open up. So what I do is I front run the dailies. You can open up a short right here. I said to my trading group yesterday, and I even said last night to my trading group, I said the highest probability, and I'll show you what I said here. And remember, I found my trading style, and I've kind of fit myself into a pocket. Once you get to know me, you'll see what I trade and why. Okay? But I want you to understand that like, I may give you a high probability short. I might not take the short. Right? But so this is me last night in the group at 7:53. I said, to me, the daily looks like it has to return to the 21 MA and pull back. A short on the daily is looking more probable. Stop loss above the tweezer tops we created today at 7 p.m. So it basically said to enter that trade where that, you know, kind of right there. We'll look at that. Put a stop above that wick right there. You see what I'm saying? And you could create your, sometimes I put it out, but I don't, you do what you want with the trade. So let's take a look at that. So like the entry would have been somewhere at 7:53 last night. You could even go in the 1 hour time frame and you can find that exact time. Right? So Tuesday at 11, 12, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. So right there at 19, right? So the trade was given like right around here. You see? And I mean, you're in the money. Has some ways to go if it's going to hit the target right down there, but you're in the money. You woke up in the money if you took this idea, and that's just what the probability said based on my years of doing this, because the daily was just too far from the 21. We had closed the tweezer top. My mom knew, like, all right, they're going to probably reset us down to the 21. Because I've seen this play out. I've seen the daily pump and reset like hundreds of times now on many, many assets. And you will too if you keep watching with me. Together, we're going to learn. Don't get discouraged. Be excited about your life. Be excited that things are going to go well. When I start telling myself I'm going to trade bad, you think I'm going to trade good? I mean, the odds aren't going to be good, right? So I got to tell myself that the next month is going to be great. I got to tell myself I'm going to make good trades. Got to pray for it, meditate on it, and tell myself it's going to happen no matter what. No matter how many losses I take, no matter how many hits I go through, I got to sit back. I got to take a deep breath and say, I can be a new person every single day. I can recreate myself and stay positive, and no matter what happens, I got to keep a mentality that pushes forward. If I do that, the odds are pretty good I'm going to end up in a good place years from now. If I don't do that, I really don't know what's going to happen in my life. You see what I'm saying? So I need to take charge mentally for everything to go where it's supposed to go in reality. And that's a really important concept that I don't think a lot of people realize. Your subconscious mind is triggering your reality. What you're doing with it, what you're playing with it, what you're feeding it is going to have an impact on you and your life in a very big way. So be careful what you watch on, if you're watching Netflix and a lot of murders. And lately, the TV is not what it used to be. It's full of a lot of down, low frequency vibration. Used to be some good documentaries about truth and health, and lately it's, I don't know, man. It's weird. And when I turn on I don't like Netflix. When I used to watch it, it was so much gore. And the first 5 minutes of almost, I'd say 80% of programs, there was just some nasty gore and pain. So I'm looking for Bitcoin to kind of slowly grind down here, Or, there's a chance it digs in right here. Like there's like, it's at a band of support. Let's kind of deep dive this idea. I don't need this. But it's in a nice band of support right here. Because you can see there was a resistance. You bounced. We wicked in. You did fall through, but there's a little bit. And once you lose that, you can see you're dropping down here. You're dropping down to the trend line. You're coming right down to 88.8. You can see it. There's a gap right there in the VRVP, even to a POC down at 87.5. Let's take a look at Bookmap. Bookmap's got liquidity at 90,005 and 89.8. So Bookmap's also setting up and telling us it wants to pull back a little bit. And it still has all that stuff down there at that 82 level. And it's got this big bar up there at 94,000, but big red closest is 90,600. So the short still tells us that that's the likely scenario. Again, who knows? I'll make 600. I'll lose 300. It's a 2-to-1. I've probably taken like 5 2-to-1 trades in the last 6 months. It's very rare for me. But I just didn't want to not trade, I guess. I don't know. But maybe, So I'm seeing, but even if we are in for a dump, there's a chance tomorrow. Like we close red today, but tomorrow we close green. I don't know why that opened. Yeah. So there's a chance we pump up tomorrow. Even if, because we're going to have to get some pumps and dumps to create the flag. It's not just straight down. And there's still a chance that we could turn this into an ascending triangle and save the day. I mean, that would be beautiful. And this is your low buy right now. And anyone who gets in right now is cashing in. You see what I mean? They're flushing it now. Look, we see I might get the model. Then I can't trade my own model that I worked so hard to create. Does kind of look bear flag-esque though. And so that's the first part of the show. The first part of the show, I go over kind of the big idea for Bitcoin. I cover the monthly for you. I cover the weekly. I like the 2-week chart. It's my secret. I really shouldn't even give it away, but I do. And that's the chart I've been using personally to create wealth. I accumulate Bitcoin for a 4 to 5 year period on the 2-week chart when the stochastics are low. I have a 6 to 7 year outlook really for my investments. And I make sure I buy them in the shaded region. It's a very simple strategy. Sometimes I only get 3 buys a year. Sometimes I get 2. Sometimes I get 4. Sometimes I get 1. You see what I mean? The last 2 months, I've gotten some buys in here in the shaded region. So I took advantage of the fear at 10 and 11. That's been my strategy for bigger, you know what I mean? And again, it may not seem, I listened to Jim Rohn again today in the morning like I do to brainwash myself for success. And again, he told me the same things that I know over and over again. He repeated. One thing he repeated is people think success is this massive movement. You make $1 million overnight, right? But it's not. Like, I want to tell everyone why I'm here and how I got here. I had a job. I listened to The Richest Man in Babylon. I read the book. I read Think and Grow Rich, and I listened to Jim Rohn. And they all told me that I could not live above my means to get rich. Said I can't spend all my money. Like I can't make $500 a week and spend $480 a week. And they said you have to at least save 10% of your paycheck a week. So if you're making $500 a week, that means at the end of the month there has to be $200 saved because every week you should have saved $500. It said if you cannot save $500, if you cannot save 10% of your earnings, you have to find a way to earn more, or you have to cut down on your expenses. I said there's no option for not saving money. You see? I played with this. I wasn't good 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I kept like saving it and then using it for something and then see. I finally sat down and I read these books and I knew this stuff, but the books reiterated what I needed to do. So everyone, I'm only here because I learned how to save money. And I lived below my means for a long time. I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment for 11 years, 10 and a half years. I paid $14.50. After 6 years, it got raised to $15. And then my last 2 years, it got raised to $15.50. I got $100 raise on my rent in a 10-year period. It was like a slight rent-controlled apartment. My account, I started in that apartment. I tell everyone the story. I love it, making like $175 a night as what was called a loader in a reality TV show industry, loading the tapes into a machine. By the end, I was the guy transcribing footage, liaising with Netflix and working for David Letterman. I turned a $175 a night job into working for David Letterman it took me 10 years. I worked my butt off. I put 10,000 hours. I did 6 hours on a night shift that turned into a day shift. I worked during the night from 30 to 36 years old. I didn't complain. I worked my butt off. I studied trading. I transitioned into trading. I started a channel. I changed my life. There's no excuses for anyone out here. I don't have an excuse for myself. I didn't. And I bring this up, but my parents did pass throughout all this, and I made it through. So, you can't too. I just want to inspire you. Because I think lately, I think people see successful people, and no one realizes how hard it was to get there because the market's been tough on people. And it's been really jarring our mentality. Mine as well. It's been up and down, man. Let's be honest. We're human beings, and they've been playing with the up and down. They've been playing with price action constantly. It's going to have an effect on you. That's it. And that's why it's so key working out, listening to Jim Rohn. 5 years from now, there could be a new invention out there we can invest in. There could be a new company that's not even out yet that does something what NVIDIA does. But if we decide to give up and go back to work and say we're never going to invest again, we're never going to hit those. We're never going to find those. And they're coming for people that care. Remember me, man. I want to tell one last point, and then I'm back to the TA because I don't want to, get too far. But 2016, I get into cryptocurrency because I was already buying gold and silver, and I was already trying to get myself out of fiat currency. That led me to trading, and then that led me to BTC. So you could say I was lucky because I bought Bitcoin earlier than most people. You could say I got super lucky, and there's people that got way luckier than me. They bought it way earlier than I did. I could compare myself to them and wish I was richer. Or I could compare myself to the people that don't have Bitcoin and realize how great it is. Or I could just be happy with the situation God put me in and how I turned what I had into a good situation. Thank God for Bitcoin. Thank God for fiat printing in a way. And thank God that I was able to figure out how the system worked in a way and use it to benefit myself. They're going to print money to zero. How can that benefit you? If you keep saving money, that doesn't benefit you. That hurts you. You become the person that has to hold the beat down. You hold the asset that keeps getting pushed to the ground. Okay? You don't want to do that. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, but I could tell you that they've been printing money for the last 97 years, and that Bitcoin has lost 97% of its purchasing power. I mean, Bitcoin. The dollar has lost 97% of its purchasing power over time, right? So just remember, just remember these ideas. So I just want you to understand, I wear a suit. I trade leverage sometimes. I have a live stream, but I want you to repeat after me, man. Sam got where he is because he saved his money and he lived below his means for a long period of time. Okay? I didn't go to fancy dinners. I didn't wear nice suits. I worked at night shift. I wore Costco jeans, Kirkland jeans that were $19.99 on sale. I wore Kirkland sweaters that were like $15 on sale. I had a North Face hoodie because it was cold out. I had some Timberland boots, a couple pairs of shoes. And I went to work, man. And no one had to see me at work. I said hi to a couple people. And so I wear the same hoodie. Oh, heck, I wear the same pants for 6 days. I'll be honest with y'all. 5-6 days straight, I wear the same jeans, man. I didn't care. I didn't have much. I didn't wear gold. I didn't have a Rolex. One of my really rich friends, when he was drunk one day, took me to a store and bought me a $3,500 watch when I was broke as a joke. Because he was buying a nice watch and I happened to be with him and it was like, hey, put this on. He's like, I like this one for you. That's nice. And I was looking at him really. To this day, it was the biggest thing anyone's ever given me in my life, Well, I mean, my parents helped me pay for college. That's different. So that's not true. My dad gave me education. My parents gave me so much. But as a gift from someone that wasn't my parents, I couldn't believe it, right? He gave me a $3,500 watch. My dad was like, I would sell that. Put that in the stock. My dad's funny. He was like, the hell you need that watch for? You got nothing. My dad was, But look, so we're sitting at a big fat jar of liquidity. We've made a low. We've made a higher low. We need the daily to just dig in and make a higher low. We need this big mountain of liquidity to hold us. And we need to somehow dig. We need to get, I keep telling you how important this area, it's really 94.8, 94.250, and it starts at 93.8 as down, back in here. But it's a major resistance that we're having a serious issue getting above. Okay? A serious issue getting above. Get back to the live trade, see what's happening with it. It's flat. So far, nada de nada. Okay? Nada de nada. But it is looking better, like a bearish retest, and so far it looks like we're in better position for the win. So I took a long trade in front of you. I put my money where my mouth is. I could lose. And people are literally going to think I stink or I'm going to win, and people are going to think I'm amazing. It depends. But whatever happens, happens. I'm willing to take a shot. My ability to lose is my ability to gain respect. Most people wouldn't even take a live trade in front of people because they'd be so afraid to lose. I lost fear a long time ago. I live in love. I love to teach, and I love to show myself and my vulnerabilities. Through love, we find out who we really are. Through love, we find out who we can become. And through love, we challenge ourselves to push away all negative beliefs and fears. Love is really not easy to hold. But the more we do it, the better it becomes a habit. So, again, what happens here? Well, let's see if the daily can at least close a candle above this kind of like my green bar here. Break back up and still could reiterate. And that could take, till the 15th of January to play out here. I'm looking for the 21 to touch price action. It's got to cross the 52. Okay. So, yes. Let's move on to the 12 hour. And I love to look at the 22 and the 12. They're both kind of showing signs that they could hold support there. Asia dumped us through the night again. And then you look at this and it's like, yeah, it's like, again, that's my it's a daily projection. So we can, that will do its thing at one point. But this has like some falling wedge vibes, I guess, right? It looks pretty silly willy-nilly. Well, let's see. So what you're looking for is you're really looking for a 1 hour tweezer bottom. You're looking for the 1 hour to close this green. Get a bounce here and start, going in a different direction. Looks really a bit odd, honestly, to be, but it is technically kind of a falling wedge. And so you're kind of looking for like an inverted head and shoulder here on the 1 hour, no? A bounce back up to this, and you're looking for the daily to close above the green zone. You do not want to lose the 1 hour 200 moving average. That would basically start telling us we're going really low, right? So look, this looks interesting here. And again, I'm willing to, I'm willing to, I can cut a trade off, flip it back. I like the 1 hour recently. Yesterday, if we saw this and front ran it again, but like once this turned green, you get in here, stop below the bottom wick. I mean, that was basically the trade of the day yesterday. I ended up missing it. I had an appointment yesterday, and that appointment got in the way of exactly when to enter the trade. And so I didn't get this beautiful move. And I bet my system played out too. Like you can look here. Whenever you see a bullish move like that, you look for the 5 minute to crush. You basically look for my model. So basically you look for bullishness on the 1 hour. Look for reversals on the 1 hour. Once the 1 hour looks like it's going to reverse, the first pump will occur. Okay. After the first pump, start flagging out the 15 minute. And you're going to want to look for the 15 minute to get tight, touch the 21 above the 200. Now remember, you're in the back of your mind, you can have the 1 hour open on one screen. If you have 2-3 screens, I keep 6 screens. And then you can kind of bounce back and forth. So like this is how you would have traded yesterday with my strategy. You'd have seen that the 1 hour was beginning to close a tweezer bottom. As that candle got greener and greener, you would have switched to the 5 minute and used my strategy. The tight moving averages at the 200. And there was like one scalp there. There was basically one scalp down here, one scalp there, another scalp there, and actually a little one right there too. And then we kind of been following ever since the night, that night. So recreate the TA in seconds, right? Oh, maybe can I go back, boom, 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 boom. Yes. I love that. The lazy way, right? Not redrawing all that. Just hit Control Z until you see it again. So now we watch to see if the 1 hour could bounce. Is there a bullish div on the 1 hour, like in this weird way? Let's take a look. There kind of is. I have to be honest. It's not the best, but it's, I mean, technically that's an uptrend while that's a downtrend. It's a little bit of bullish divergence. You have a lot of resistance right here that created support. You're on a POC. Can we get the bounce? Right? Took 200 for most people is nothing for me. That's a night shift pay. Yeah. Took 200 for most people, it's nothing. For a lot of people, that's a lot, I'll be honest. The people that trade, if you took a most beginner traders and said you took $200, they said that would be like a dream come true for them. A lot of traders have been trying to make a $200 trade and just keep losing, and they're like, how? I remember when I first started, man, I didn't have control over my emotions, I didn't understand the probabilities, and I didn't have enough knowledge of the charts. And I thought I was going to win. And no one can fully explain that to you. Trading is something that, like, I'm going to bring you in and introduce you, and I'm going to try to do my best to upgrade my brain to yours or your brain to mine, so, like, you get as much of the information as I could give you. But, like, a lot of the things have to happen as they happen to you. It's kind of like driving, right? I can teach you how to drive. We can talk about it. You got to get behind the wheel. You got to feel what it's like to hit the brakes. You got to go to the stop sign. You got to, like, you know what I mean? It's got to be, you've got to learn it. I could tell you how to garden and talk about how to plant, but, like, you got to put the plant in the ground. Your hands got to get dirty multiple times, and then you're going to be like, okay, I get it. This is how to plant. I understand now. Moist. It's a little wet. I overwatered last week. You know what I'm saying? I could teach you how to water your plants, but you might still overwater them and have to learn the hard way. So, like, everything is a great learning process in life. That's the beautiful thing about life. If I got to learn everything you knew and not have to at least have some of my own life experience through it, then what would be the point, right? So it's a blessing that we all learn from each other in this manner. This could be the daily bottom. Let's take a look at the daily. Nasty green red candle, right to resistance. You got a bar there. You know, you gave back almost all the gains from 2 days ago, which is crazy. And now that's, you know, you're out of support here on the 4 hour time frame. A little bit of bullish div on the 1 hour. I'm looking for a possible reversal pattern even on the 1 hour. And it could still roll over. You know what I mean? It's like we've been at 41.91 400 now for about an hour since the show began, right? So, yeah. Right now, everyone's processing the jobs data. It's bullish and bearish. You know, it's bearish for the markets in a way because it's bearish news. It's not, you know, it's not like a good sign. But it also puts pressure on the Fed. Now, the Fed's sitting at 88 that they're not going to cut the rate. But I thought they were going to put in a new chair. I thought everything was changed. I thought it was going to be, you know, so bullish. But now they're still sticking at 88.4. This is causing some, even me, like I look at this for years and I've seen that even if fake or whatever you want to call this, and you're like, wow, how can I just go to a website and understand the markets? It's that simple because that if you do it all the time, you'll see that it really is that correlated. People are going to speculate that this is not good for the markets. This number has to start going down. And you'll see kind of risk on assets start to flip again. This is important. Now we have to take a look at the S&P futures and the NASDAQ. Okay? Which have hit like all-time highs today, right? And remember, that's what I've been telling you. I drew this, remember when I drew this flag? Remember when I called the bottom on 1121? You remember when I called the bottom of the S&P? It's still there. It was because that's, you know, it's crazy. It was a Friday, so I did my top-down analysis that Friday, and I basically said this is going to be your bottom for the S&P. I said don't listen to the naysayers. I said it's and again, there was this. If you look here on, let's take a look at what the 3-day chart. The 3-day swung up, but the RSI swung down, and then that's hidden bullish divergence. It says you're going to break this high before you break these lows. And look, I mean, you now have broken this high. The only thing I will say about hidden bullish is a lot of times there's a dump after it. Like after you make the high, that's one thing I have to be honest about. Here it is again. There was hidden bullish there on a weekly time frame. If you zoom out. So this was moving up, right? But like this moved down. And so look, that's hidden bullish divergence. So you're going to break this high before you break this low. It's just an amazing, and Bitcoin's still sitting on that indicator now. And so there's a lot of iffy moments right now. There's a lot. You've got tons of people on Twitter telling you what to think, and they're telling you that we've entered a bear market. I have to say, I'm a TA guy, and I don't tell you what I think. I just go by the charts. And when the charts are below the 200 moving average for a long period of time, like 2-3 months, the long time we've been in, I have to start seeing this as we're in a bear market. I like the Adam and Eve double bottom. I love the support we put in at 84,000. Things are looking pretty good. But I'm not jumping on bandwagons until I see confirmation from the 4-hour into the daily, from the 1 hour into the 4-hour. I've studied how price action from the small time frames goes into the bigger and the bigger to the smaller. And you will too. And you'll understand that when you look at that, you're going to see the transition pretty clearly. You're going to understand it. And if you can see the transition clearly and watch it, then you're going to realize how important it is to watch the smaller time frames. Other people will tell you it's noise. They'll tell you it's not right. It's not what you need. And I'll tell you that it's beautiful science all mixed together inside of one big mathematical equation. And the smaller time frames are the bigger are the smaller. Upside down is right side up, and right side up is upside down, right? Stop being greedy and take profit, dude. Stop being oh wow. Use your stop loss. Stop gambling your whole account on a single day trade. Yeah. Oh, you guys are talking to someone there. Yeah, dude. I keep making 200 then I get liquidated. Shout out to Sifa Kalik. This is my 8th time doing it. Wow. Just got to use stop losses, man, and risk smaller amounts. Like, reason why most traders are losing a lot of money is they're trading what they're not, like, trading's like riding is like training a horse. And you're like, what are you talking about? Well, some horses are very young and haven't been trained well yet. Okay. And then some horses are really well trained. Now, if you haven't ever trained a horse in your life, you probably want to jump on a beginner horse, right? You don't go jump on an untrained horse that really needs someone that's very well versed at training horses, right? What will happen? You're likely to get kicked off, liquidated, right? So you're jumping onto an account that you can't handle. You've been trading for 2 years, a year and a half, and you're trying to handle a position size that someone who's been trading 10 or 12 years can handle. You're worth 10 grand. You owe 5 grand to the credit. That was me for years. You know, you've got 8 grand in your account, you owe 6 grand to credit debt. And you're risking $2,000 a trade. I'm not talking to you specifically. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm actually going over my old life. I used to be there. I used to do these things. I used to struggle. I had credit debt for like 9 years. It wasn't huge. It was always like under 9 grand. I never kept going. Like when people said I owe like 70,000, I'd be like, well, how did you do that? But I really wanted a camera, and I'd buy a camera. And I'd use the camera. It would be a $5,000 or $6,000 camera because I wanted high-end stuff. So I could charge more daily rates. But then you know what I would do is I would buy Bitcoin instead of paying off my credit card. Because people told me that I should find investments and not pay off the credit. And honestly, that did pay off for me sometimes. I'm not telling people what to do. I would pay the credit off. But I did forego credit payment. I'd pay the minimum for like 3 years. It was so whack. And then next thing, you know, like I hit a big trade. After that, I'd held for years. I remember KuCoin shares, changed my life, and paid off my debt, man. And I never had credit debt again for the rest of my life, like after like 2020, I think. So there are mixed signals. Different time frames call for different perspectives, bullish and bearish. Yeah, this is my 9th time. I'm going to listen to y'all. Let's see if I can get the 2 Divorce without liquidated. I mean, I think you should try to turn $200 into $300, my man. Let's see if you can turn $200 into $250. Like that's not easy, bro. Like hedge fund managers, if they made everybody 25% a year, that'd be amazing. You're trying to walk into this world. So let's see. Like the first thing is let's turn $200 into $220. You know what I mean? Like that's your first goal, man. Can you make 10% of your account? If you can do that, then you try 20. You know, then you try 30. People realize it's a lot harder to grow an account than they think. They think they're just going to open up a couple leverage trades and turn $5,000 into $10,000. I'll tell you what, the high risk you're going to take to do that means if you're wrong a couple times, you're going to lose basically probably all of the portfolio. Everyone loves to see the green posts on Twitter. They don't want to go do the math behind it. A guy's up $100K. It all looks great. Everything's going his way. What happens if the price goes down $200? He's so high leverage, he's only going to be up like 10,000. You know? Just, it's important to move your stop loss to break even. A guy's up 500,000. He doesn't move his stop loss to break even. He ends up losing 200K. I turned 200 into 700 on SWE using G massive lev, but also lost a bunch the way up. Interesting. Yeah. How's the $100 account going, Sammy? Honestly, trading with $100 is very difficult. I'm going to bring it back, though. It's crazy. I opened up one trade like the day before Christmas, and it hit hard, and I turned 70 into 140. And then, I forgot about it because, my baby was crying, and my dad had pneumonia or something, and I was, rushing with, helping my wife. I came back the next day and forgot that I moved the stop loss to break even, and, I came back to, $70. And I was like, dang it. That would have been the trade to turn 70 into 140, 140. That would have started me to turn $70 into 1,000. So I know I can do it. You know what I mean? I turned 100 into 1,000 using Fiverr. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not good at high leverage like that. Yeah, I just know what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. I'm just not good at that stuff. I'm not a high leverage guy. Yeah. It's not my thing. I don't get excited about it. I'm not happy about it. I'm happy for you and I love that you guys use it, but it's not my thing. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm weak at. I can work at higher leverage. I trade 47 to 100. I guess some people think I trade high leverage. For me, compared to most people, no, I don't trade high leverage, I like slow, boring gains. I know that doesn't sound cool to everybody, but over time, that's how I made it. It's been 10 years soon since my first crypto investment. I started in 2016. It took me 10 years, man, to make it. Quote unquote, make it, whatever you want to call that. Be happy where I'm at in life. Content with where I'm at and be able to have free time for my family and me. So I don't feel like I'm a slave to the system. That's all I wanted in life. That's the only thing I'm chasing. I care not about money. I care about my time and my family and friends. I want to provide for them. I want you to have the best time when you're with me. If I can take you to the nicest restaurant, I'd like to do that. If I can take you out for a ride in a nice, and something, I'd like to do that. If I can show you a great time, I'd like to do that. And sometimes, a little bit of money can make that a lot easier, agreed? Doesn't mean we can't throw Frisbee on the beach, which is free, and have some of the most fun ever. Because I believe, man, some of the greatest fun I'll ever have, you can't pay for, man. And that's a fact. That's a fact. That looks like it could break out. So the 1 hour is really, I think the 1 hour is the time frame right now. Same thing as yesterday, the 1 hour got the bounce. Maybe the 1 hour is about to get the bounce again. It is a 5-to-1 risk-reward ratio if I can hide below the wick there. And that 1 hour will break out of this kind of estranged falling wedge here and bust to the upside. Hey, it looks interesting, doesn't it? So I'm not in love with this short, I'll tell you that. And if we get above there, then my model starts to play out. My trader instinct just doesn't love price action recently. It's just not in love with it. We got that final move. Everything seemed good. Right? This was what I'm used to. This is what I trade. I'm really good at identifying this bottom. And I'm really good at riding these waves up. You know what I mean? And I'm really good at taking profits somewhere near the top. Like I did. I showed you guys exactly what, But this stuff, no. Now come back up, consolidate, get ready, start to break out again. That's my sauce, right? So this year I'm going to focus more on what I'm best at and less on what I'm not good at, right? Instead of just trying to trade everything, I'm just going to be more selective of my trades. I'm an old man now. I'm an older man now. I got to focus. And this has been boring, right? You're watching my trade. It's been down 60, down 30, up 10, 5. It's been boring. Price action has been pretty sideways right now. Markets are trying to figure out what they want to do. They're seeing how many people are going to take the trades. I love a tweezer bottom. A bullish engulfer would be nice, but I'd take a tweezer bottom. I Love a Rainy Night by 80 Rabbit. I love a rainy night. Don't be a rookie, you're a veteran. Get them pantalones. You guys are crazy, man. Shout out to Servana. Papi si pantalones. You're funny, man. Yeah, today, you finally guys got me. I got no pants on. I just threw in the towel. Nah, I got pants on, man. I got beautiful gray pants. They match the coat a bit. Look good. Pull out some of the gray in the shirt and in the tie. You got to bring it all together with the pants, man. Yeah, exactly. I had bid money. I would just day trade spot with little to no legitimate risk. Yeah, but to day trade spot, you need a lot more volume than this. But I day trade spot all day. Once the market's hot, I love to swing trade spot. It's crazy. I'll swing trade 50K spot before I'll put in $5,000 at 10x leverage. I'm very old school, man. My dad didn't use a credit card till he was 70. And even then, he only used it because it was the way the system worked, and they got points or something. He had the money every time. They paid it off every month perfectly. My dad didn't like credit. My dad never used it. Maybe some street credit was the only thing my dad ever used. But it's true. Yeah. Pump the likes for your boy. Someone says, looks like you short the bottom. Yeah, 100%. Everyone likes to say that. It's just a scalp, man. It's just a scalp. Yeah. It's just a scalp. It's funny, though, you jinx this because every time somebody says that, it usually dumps. So I hope please don't say that. Because the last 4 times someone told me I shorted the bottom, I won the short trade. I personally am so long Bitcoin spot that I don't like it going down ever. I want Bitcoin to go above 100K and I never want it to go below again. You know what I mean? Pants are AI. No one believes the pants. They think pants were Adobe Illustrator or, Adobe After Effects. Yeah. Because it has to be in real time. So it's not Photoshop. It's After Effects. The pants are After Effects. They're not real. The haircut, everything. Look I'm younger. Don't you see how much younger I looked in the last few weeks? What's going on? Look at this. I've been fasting. I've been sleeping for once. And I've been using this amazing cream, man, every night, lubricating my face with honey and coconut oil and just I'm serious. I feel 1,000 times younger. I feel fit. Dude, I love life, man. I believe God's given me an extra sense of energy to get through these tough times. And vibrance, love, and life, man. And I believe it's each and every one of you that shows up every day and is really nice to me. Thank you. Yeah. I truly believe that is one of the main sources of my vibrance, man. I have thousands of people that are nice to me. Yesterday, people were very nice to me. There was many compliments in the chat. It was one of the nicest days I could remember. I've already seen people say nice things today. Bitcoin, my view, January and February. 108,600 and ETH 4,300. I like it. It'll be awesome. Shout out to Bagda Vikash. We love you. Thank you. So you're saying there's a chance. Shout out to BTC Bill. Yeah. This is still a descending triangle. The 21 is now crossed below the 200 on the 30-minute time frame. It's even like a descending triangle here on the 1 hour. Looks like it's a rounded top too, right? And rounded tops do not pay the bills. You know who pays the bills? Is the general manager of the Bills. He pays the bills. That's who pays Josh Allen, okay? That's who pays the bills. Hey, I don't know how I come up with these on the spot, but, you got to give me some credit. Okay. I won't beat you down with the dad jokies. But so, yeah, you're looking for this to close. When will this close? You got to right click. You don't know. Nobody knows, but I know. It's funny, I don't see it. I'm wondering why I don't see it. That's weird. They probably took away my settings. My settings changed recently. Look, countdown to bar close. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's green. I'm looking for red, but the candle's green. Yeah, it's always been red recently. So this candle closes in 3 hours and 37 minutes. on the 4-hour time frame. If this closes green, we have ourselves a bounce back to the upside. You could also front run the 1 hour, but there's no guarantees you'll win that trade. They could even turn it green, turn it back red again. I've seen it all. This candle closes in 37 minutes. If you get a green close, there's a good chance you could open up the long. See? Either that, I still kind of sit on the short or the smaller time frame. Ooh, now I'm down now I'm really starting to lose. I don't like that. $70, like I was cool with 40, 30, but not 70. No. And I'm just a long machine. I don't like to short the market. I'm not. Probably should just maybe never short again, but I've made money shorting. Crazy as I close this short, they'll dump it in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? I keep the short open, they rip it. You never know what's going to happen. What I like is even if I lose the short, I'm okay, right? I teach you guys how to hit a stop loss. I guess at least I think someone will still learn from my loss. So great. Damn, the 1 hour and the 4 hour are looking pretty good now. There's like an elongated divergence here on the 1 hour time frame, see? It's technically a kind of a bull div. It's a falling wedge. They break up 68% of the time. Wow, now you're getting rippage. They're going after the shorts now. I tell you what, man, live trading has been so, I got to be honest, very frustrating and tough recently. Because it's like it could go either way almost all the time. I'm having so much better, my biggest trades are on the 4 hour and the daily recently and the 3-day. And just letting them sit for a few days and then taking gains when we rip. That's how I've been managing. That's how I made the gains I made recently. I just opened up the trades on the bigger time frames and I just held them till we had a huge pump. You know what I mean? And I just kind of been light on the smaller time frames. I lost my scalp in the group last night, right? Yesterday, I saw a scalp at like 5. I lost it. They got me. I won my scalp. So I've given 2 scalps to the group in the last few days. Just 2. I won the first one Monday morning, right? And I lost the last one last weekend, yesterday afternoon. That's facts. And then I won the bigger long-term trade when I said we're going to reverse back from that 87 area, and we did. And we got the nice pump, and then I sold like 93.7. And it looked like it might have gone higher, but I just decided, and remember people were like, you know, it's funny, someone did slightly influence me on the stream. When I was in that trade, I think you know who you are, but someone said, Sam, why don't you, if you're so sure the 4 hours coming back to that 21, he's like, why wouldn't you just take profits then and get back in the trade? And he kind of made me think, I said the same thing to myself out loud, and I'm like, and my mind said, what are the probabilities? And I said, they're really high. I said, we're likely doing that. Honestly, that what makes you unique. You share the good and the bad. Thank you. If the 1 minute crosses the 200 and flags out, will be confirmation of a falling wedge. Would that be the confirmation of the falling? It wouldn't be confirmation, but it would be a small time frame area to enter on the bigger idea. You see, it would work in tandem with you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I lost one this morning, too. Yes, you're right. I did. Yeah, you're right. Yep. So, I'm the world's worst at shorting. It seems obvious when there's a reversal bounce, but seems also impossible to tell when it finally rejects to the downside. Just use the model. Just use the model. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, just use the model. Like, the 15-minute has a short model right now. Just like we would, you know, I showed you it has this, it's basically an ascending triangle, and it's retesting the top of the triangle. You see? Sorry, I want to move this here. It broke out. It's retesting the top of the triangle. It either comes down hard, which would be awesome, which is the breakout. We did hit support. You could long support here with a stop loss below the wick. I can see it go either way yet again. That's why it's tough trading, man. And then you got the data that kind of is like, and again, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Think the data is twisted. They're going to keep printing money, right? They're going to have to cut the rates, but yet, and then jobs weren't as good. We need more rate cuts to make more jobs, but the jobs data is bearish for the market today. But the risk on assets will pump if we think they're going to cut the rates. So you can see how the data today was stagnant. It was bullish and bearish, and it kind of made the market just go, but what? And people were like, eh. You see what I mean? And because of last week and all the low volume, usually takes like a week or two to get the market back into regular movement. So this week is our first like clean week. Let's take a look at the data coming at us in the next 2 days, because there's data we have to watch out for. Thursday's unemployment claims at 8:30 in the morning. Friday's the unemployment rate, I believe. Yes, the unemployment rate in non-farm. Okay? And average hourly earnings as well. So look out for that information. At Thursday and Friday at 8:30 in the morning, we're going to get hit hard with some data that's going to move the market. Unemployment claims, right now, 4.9. They should be higher now. So all of a sudden, unemployment's skyrocketing. Why? That doesn't mean, what's going on? Right? Like you said yesterday, you don't win them all, but you win more than you lose. I was always losing lev trade, and then I started shorting and started winning my trades. It seemed I'm good at shorting the tops. I'm trying to tell you, everyone's going to have a skill. You're just going to see the market better. And, some people are just, the tops, shorting the tops might be easier for you. Long in the 1 minute, in the 1 hour is simple. You know what I mean? You're going to find your sauce. But there's no way you find sauce if you don't at least get in the game. It could be, this could be the worst analogy ever, but you ever go to, when you're a kid, there's a park. And the park has different things. It has the monkey, it has the swing, it has the monkey bars. It might have like 10 different things, and there might be something you like more because you're better at it or just funner at it, or whatever it is. It's kind of like trading. The trading is like entering a park. There's going to be all these different ways. Now, if you never go to the park and play, you're never going to know what you're good at or what you like more. If you never take out trades, demo trade, learn about trading, you're never going to know what you're good at trading. Like, he just said a good thing. That's such a cool thing. That's why you guys are part of this learning process. He just said, I seem to be better at shorting the market. Okay? Short from the local top on 130. Shorting 94,000 has been easy peasy. It's been exactly what to do every single time. And yesterday I could see the daily was away from the 200, the 21, right? Trading is going to be so much harder once AI. I disagree. It's going to be even. What do you mean? I disagree. I'm already using AI. I'm already running bots. AI is already in the algorithm. Yeah, it's already happened. Maybe that's why it's a little more difficult. But that doesn't mean it's going to be harder, because you have to understand, even AI is made up of the human mathematical system. It can't escape the universal codes. AI can't make non-right angles. Like, AI can't make a square without a right angle. Understand? It can't. So because AI can't exist outside of our mathematical our mathematical stipulations, like we're stuck in, don't you understand that we're stuck inside of a system? We can't make things outside of the system. Like, we are either a circle or a square. There's other shapes in the universe that probably exist that we can't even see or feel or understand, because our universe won't allow us. There could be a universe where everything is and there's no such thing as a right angle in it. Like, they don't live by that. I was researching things years ago where there's some universes that are hydrogen based. They're different than ours. Like, they don't have oxygen. It's different. And if you look out, there could be so many different things out there. So anyway, AI makes everything better, and it won't make jobs. People are crazy for thinking different. Right? Based on your experience, which time frame works best for intraday trading in crypto? I like checking the 4 hour and the 1 hour. And then I like using the 1, 5, and the 15 minute to scalp, depending on which one has like a stronger support, which one is crossing a 200. Like, the 15 minute might be above the 200 moving average already. I'm going to scalp the 5 and the 1 when they cross. The 1 may be crossing the 200 moving average. I may scalp the 1, but take profits because I see the 15 minute below the 200. When the 15 minute begins to cross the 200, I may get back into the trades on the 1 and the 5. I'm using the 200 moving average on multiple time frames interchangeably to then scalp smaller time frames. If that makes sense. That's part of my strategy. Like today, the 15 minute is below the 200 moving average. So it's telling me to short the smaller time frames. Understand? Doesn't mean it's going to happen for sure, but it's telling me the odds of me winning the short are higher. Let's go over this. You're going to be like, well, why are you doing this, Sam? And I can show you why I'm doing it. Let's look at S&P futures, which are not, somewhat correlated now, but not perfectly. And let's look at the 15-minute time frame. Let's take a look when the 15-minute lost the 200 moving average. Here, it got below the 200. Shorting those smaller time frames would have paid you off pretty nicely. Look at that dump. Here's another one. You can see losing the 200 on the 15-minute, even if it's not like create a massive bottom, or it creates a pretty good move down. Almost every time, like once, twice, rejection, 3, 4, massive 5. They kind of played games fine. But it didn't look amazing, right? It was like whatever. 6 for a massive dump. Got right back above it, lost it. And then here we got above it and we pumped. You see? So I'm just showing you what I'm seeing. And I'm just trading what I'm seeing. I'm not trying to be a genius here. I'm just showing you what's going on. So that's why I'm staying short right now until I get a close. That 1 hour has to close green. You know, there's no chance it will. Right now, you're front running it. Look at that wick down. It's not amazing. So there you go. And that's why I still have a short open, even though it was down 70, now down 50. You know, and again, when I win $600 today and everyone says you shorted the bottom, I'm going to say I didn't know what was happening like you. Apparently, you knew it all. I didn't know it all. Instead of you who said you knew it all, who told me I shorted the bottom because you're a know-it-all, you know it all. You know exactly what's going to happen. I said, I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know. My open-mindedness is my ability to stay afloat when most people get wrecked. Because I'm not telling myself what has to be, what's concrete, and I'm not like, nothing is like a guarantee. I don't know. I'm so cool with being okay with not knowing. Because I submitted to God, it's a lot easier for me to be okay with unpredictability. When I didn't have a full relationship with God, I questioned unpredictability. You know, I was always like, and maybe other people are better at that. Maybe they don't need a relationship with God. For me, I did. For me, it helped. So, and you explain why. Well, once I understood that God exists, and I went back to the surfer analogy yesterday, where you surf a wave, you don't fight a wave. You know that the wave is bigger than you, and you use that wave to help you. I know God is bigger than me. I use that wave to help me. Okay? With that philosophy, I channel frequency. I'm able to do things that put my mind to. I'm able to be very consistent and keep pushing. It's not easy, though. TA on gold and silver looks like they're cooling off some. Agreed. And it made sense. I said silver was likely going to cool off. Risk on assets, too, if we can't get that rate hike. Right now, it looks like they're going to knock up the rate. It's not good for gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Sorry, I have to cough. I don't want to be like coughing in front of everybody. Thank you for the TA there. Right. Someone just said, he said long, it's short. That's not true. You can see it on the screen. Look at this guy. Wait, hold up. I just want to help people. I want to help you. He said long, it's short. I'm so confused, everyone. Everyone knows I've been short since like halfway through the stream, right? There's no confusion. Thanks for helping me find Jim Rohn. Push me into more exposure in the market. Helping my mom with her depression and anxiety. God bless you, bro. You know, if I pass away today, which I hope I never do, I hope I live a very lot longer life. But if I were to pass away today, I know I helped a lot of people with TA, but I know I also helped a lot of people with mental health, and I helped a lot of people stay positive in down times. So thank you for this. These are my true trophies in life. I love making people gains, and I love people making gains with the information that they learn. And I love spreading knowledge and education and technical analysis. But man, when people tell me that I helped their mental health, because without me starting my mental health journey, I never would have made it to trading, right? I never would have got into trading, and I never would have had fun trading. I would have stayed in my turmoil. So man, God bless you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I watch him every AM now. Yeah. Do you see the head and shoulder on the 1 hour, the right shoulder being the descending triangle? Yes, we've been looking at that. Yeah. Know it all, I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. Repeat as necessary. Amen. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance until I humble myself back to nature. I was watching your older vids about staking on LPs and pancake and sushi. You still stake for passive income? If so, what do you use? Thank you. I mean, they have auto earn now on weeks. They have auto earn on all different platforms. Yeah. Okay, what's leverage on this short? Tony Robbins went to him at 16. Jim Rohn, 100% he did. Bro, I love listening to you talk. We know nothing, expect the fact of our own. Hey, man, yeah. We just keep pushing forward, everybody. Look, my short's back in the green now. I'm just telling you, when the 21's below the 200, I short the market. When the 21's above the 200, we long the market. It's so boring and basic. It's discipline. Discipline is not always fun. Sometimes discipline can be boring. I do a live stream every day from 10 to 12. And Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. I'm there every time. I don't break. I talk in front of 2 screens for 2 hours a day. Some could think that is extremely boring. A lot of people would say, how do you sit alone in a room for 2 hours a day? And I don't think about it. I just do it because it's been working for me, so I do what works, man. God found me a position in life. I'm doing the beautiful opportunity that God gave me. I'm not questioning it. I'm just going for it. Do I wake up feeling amazing every day? No. Do I wake up thinking that everything is going to be awesome? No. Do I brainwash myself into getting there by 8 or 8 a.m.? Yes. Do I work out and use Jim Rohn to change the way my mind works and to chemically rebalance myself? Yes. Do I find a way to win no matter what? Agreed. Am I long right now? No. I'm saying if the 1 hour were to close at tweezer bottom, there could be a long here today. But I am not long. I'm sorry. I agree. Someone might just show up today and be like, oh, he's long. I get it. I got to give people a break and realize people get confused. And no one is against me. They all love me. Most people. I think it's better off to believe that too than anything else, right? Let's take a look at the fan funding and see what happened today. Thank you for the people that threw down. You people are amazing. This will come back to you tenfold. Bitcoin Bill is always giving to me, I'd love to meet you one day. You've been super nice. You must have given me $500 by now, man. God bless you, brother. Thank you for the $20 super chat and all the people you put in as memberships too. Bitcoin, my view, January and February. I like to see that. Thank you, Bogda. I hope it gets there. Please suggest a scalp short for Zcash. 4 hour on 450. No token metric list for 2 weeks, Sam. Token Metrics has changed their platform. Yeah, they don't do it anymore. Yeah. TA on gold and silver, please. Looks like they're cooling off some. Thanks for helping me find Jim Rohn. Pushed me into more exposure. But they still send me emails about upcoming projects and ideas. And I'm going to work on, and that still gets implemented. So you've got a bunch of stuff still. You've got a bunch of new tokens that no one knows about that I've already given you complete ideas. And they could be the ones that are going to pump in the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. I did put that in the altcoin area. So you got to scan through it. Maybe I'll find it and move it into... Yeah, I was watching your older videos. Yes, thank you. That's cool that you were watching that stuff. Yeah, I was heavy into DeFi. And shout out to Wit97. Thank you for thanking me. T on gold and silver says Brian Taylor 1440. Let's take a look at the TA on gold and silver as Bitcoin still struggles at 91,250 right here on the perps. And we're going to take a look at gold and silver for my man. One thing I have to look at before that is the CME gap. I just got a glance at the CME gap for Bitcoin because there is a CME here, I believe. I don't know exactly what time frame, but let's take a look. I don't know if that's technically a gap. You got a wick there. I don't know. I don't really see a gap. Yeah, I don't see a clean gap. Sometimes it's on the 4 hour. And there's the gap there on the 4 hour. Yeah, there's a gap right there on the 4 hour time frame. And there it is. And we're entering the gap too. So, when you pump on the weekends, you create a gap. Sunday, we created a gap because CME isn't open. Then when they open back up, they can't catch up with price. 9 out of 10 times, we come back. 95% of the time, we close the gap. So, and again, that's also just the daily, the 6 hour look. Coming back to the 21, when you pump away from a 21-day moving average, you guys know this about me, you have to come back. Today could be the stand. 91.5 could be the place where we really dig in here and begin the next journey. It could be amazing. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. Yeah. And then we're going to also talk about, and then we just cover everything here. Subwit Harmony said, please scalp short for Zcash. Interesting. Shout out to Lewis Angel. We love you. Yeah. And also, Tokenmetrics was an added benefit that I was already paying for. But I'm going to find ways to make it better. Don't worry. And I still scan hundreds of coins a day, 500 coins a day, no more. Sometimes I think things that matter. Sometimes I don't. AI Companions had a nice little pump. But a lot of the coins didn't. Like, all coins are still very high risk right now. And I had to learn that the hard way. I found a bunch of setups that a lot of them did not play out. Yeah. Someone says there's a gap at 88,000. Right there. Yeah, I see. Thank you. And we got a gap down there, too. They don't always fill, but hey, there's two gaps. That's a gap on the CME. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange opens up at about, I'd got to say, it'll tell me here, right? At 6 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. It opens up at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, Sunday. And if we pumped in between Friday and Sunday, or we make a drastic move for Bitcoin, there's going to be a gap. And thank you, VetiGoat, for giving us the secondary gap. So 2 gaps of the CME. Do I win my short? I don't know. This has been tough, man. It's been, you've guys watched, and I'm at high leverage on a pretty small time frame. I'm not on the 1 minute, but I'm on the 15. And I'm using 47. And so I'm on like this is high. This is, to me, the old me, this is extremely high risk. 47x, $800, turning that into a $17,000 trade. Like, now it means nothing to me. It's very small. I mean, it doesn't mean everything means everything. I don't want to ever say that, but it doesn't fit, I find it doesn't emotionally affect me, right? It's not enough money for me to feel like it's, but I'm in the trade and I'm part of it. And if I can make $600 10 times this week, that's $6,000. So I know that the smaller things add up to the bigger things. I know I got rich by doing small things over time. I know there's not this big movement. Jim Rohn told me, he says, one day you look up and you're in a different place. I remember I told you I was in that 1-bedroom apartment. I barely, I owed money. I had credit debt. It wasn't awesome. But I found a way to get out of it somehow, right? I got out of it. I listened to people richer than me. I read books where people told me about things I needed to know. I studied money and finance, and I studied millionaires and billionaires. Jim Rohn told me that if I studied people richer than me, they would leave clues. I saw everyone that was really rich was like usually worked out and was in really good shape and had high energy. I noticed that. I'm not trying to say everyone, but a lot of rich people, they worked out and they looked healthy. So I said, man, I should start working out. Maybe it'll help me get rich. I swear to gosh, I swear, I promise you I started saying that. I said, maybe I'll get healthy, and maybe I'll start working out in that vengeance that at least because Jim Rohn talked today about when we tell ourselves we're going to do something and we do it. He goes, when the alarm clock goes off at 5:30, 6 in the morning, and we get out of bed immediately, we don't sit there for an extra hour and hit the snooze button, or we don't get up. That's the first step in doing the right thing. We get up. Boom. Done. Can you take a look at gold? Specifically, the 1 hour looks good for a trade. Shout out to Crypto Weirdo. Thank you. I love that name, man. Crypto Weirdo. You got to love that. So the first thing we do in the morning is the right thing. That already starts momentum, as Jim Rohn said today. He said, now you go, wow, I woke up when I said I was going to. Brush your teeth, splash your face. Take those little stings out your eyes if you had a deep one. Deep sleep. Deep one didn't sound right. I don't know about you, man. So, I ain't having no deep ones. You never know what you say when you say stuff. This is crazy. But anyway, the point is, then you start your day, and then you do and then I do my morning update for the group. Once I do my morning update, I'm like, okay, I did my morning update for everybody. And I do it for myself. I need to know what the heck Bitcoin's doing. I need to be in tune with BTC, right? And so I'm not trying to confuse you. I'm the guy that's willing to see it both ways. I love to long, though. That would be a legendary long on the 1 hour. So we sit and wait, and only time will tell. And it looks like it won't be till the end of the stream I'll be able to figure this out. Small time frames are giving short signals. 1 hour suggests possible reversal. Longs are digging in to previous resistance as support. Bit of a double bottom right there at 91.2. And the battle continues here for Bitcoin. This is the 50-minute time frame. And it's been about 2-3 hours of sideways price action at the tip of this ascending or descending triangle. Flip it upside down. It is a descending triangle that breaks up. We've traded this long many times. It has also stopped us out many times, so we'll see. It's a 50-50 pattern. Is not like a bear pennant. I mean a bull pennant or a bull rectangle. It's a 50-50 pattern. It really depends. Shout out to the 1,200 beautiful souls here on the live. You people are absolutely amazing. I love you. This stream has been like rock solid. Woke up to gains. Got my boy coming in weeks. Got my baby boy coming in 4 weeks. Blessings all around, dude. You're getting your first child, man. God bless you, brother. I have 3 beautiful kids, and each one of them changed my life in such a big way. I hold them. I hug them. I'm a softie for my kids. I spend as much time with them as I can. I could be even better, and I'm going to work on being more responsive to my kids and less staring at the chart sometimes when they come in my office and they demand my attention, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, guys. And they're like, daddy, daddy, daddy. And they all want daddy all the time. Dad's the fun one. Dad's the kids want daddy all the time. They just do. It is, especially if you're like, I'm a young, vibrant, fun dad, man. My kids want to play, man. They want to hang out. I've got no beer belly. I ain't playing that game. I'm not doing that. I'm going to be 68 years old looking amazing at the beach. I'm going to be the most jacked 70-year-old there ever was, man. I'm going to be like Jack LaLanne. Remember Jack LaLanne? You guys know Jack LaLanne? He used to, like, swim with his hands tied behind his back. He used to, like, he did the, I think he did the Nantucket channel. I think he did the Martha's Vineyard channel. Heck, he might have done the London channel. The English channel. I called it the London channel. Look how ridiculous I am. The English channel. I mean, that's digging in for a tweezer bottom. It closes in 10 minutes and 31 seconds. Can't we get the close here? Coming to the end of the session. Woke up to gains. God bless you, man. So let's take a look at Zcash. A possible scalp on the 4-hour time frame, he said. He said a short scalp, but Zcash is just going to follow BTC. It's going to do whatever Bitcoin does. Just remember that. So look at that. The line we put it out, it was getting tighter and tighter. Stop loss well below 417, but could they come? I mean, it kind of is a symmetrical. I've been weary trading anything but Bitcoin recently. I'd like to see the stochastic come down and curve and have it not lose this chain. This. Hello? No. Ask Sean when that happens, and Jamie. You know. Sean, is my mic out? Yeah. No, I'm just going to keep it moving. Sean, is my mic out? I'll look for the DM for you. I don't believe so. I'll just look here in the chat. I just asked the chat, is my mic out? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I never lost any audio. I don't know why YouTube. YouTube is funny, man. It's a server. It could have been a server past Mississippi. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's YouTube. It ain't on me, baby. Could have been restreamed too. The way we do this, you never know. 100 things are going on, but my system is all set and go. I have my own back-end system here telling me when I'm live. I can see it. But thank you. I don't know how long I went out or what I went out for, but I say God bless the man for his new child there. East Coast was good. West Coast got bagged. Refresh if you lost me. Dang, man. It's like trying to lower my reach. 200 MA 450 dropped to the 21 4-hour. Can you check the daily and the 5 hours instead of big triangle we have been in? Third super chat. Please see bio USD. Love you, bro. Send a request on your website. No reply. Okay, thank you. Let's take a look here. Number one, I look at it on the bigger time frame, but you said you want to look at the 200 MA. I can't do like specific. You said the 4-hour time frame. So let's take a look. To me, it's really about your 200 moving average and your trend line. As long as it can hold this trend line, it's still inside of a symmetrical triangle that could go either way. You get a black swan, something happens, Bitcoin dumps, SIG dumps. Bitcoin saves the day and recovers, Zcash recovers. I'd rather just spot Bitcoin and then high leverage trade Bitcoin if it comes up than leverage trade Zcash, which is way more risky. Everyone else wants to make more money faster overnight, so they're going to leverage trade altcoins. All right? So that's just kind of what happens. All right? Everyone else wants to make more money faster overnight, so they're going to leverage trade altcoins. Looks good to me. I just did a test, but dang. All right. Well, blessings on blessings. We should look at data. Everyone refresh. Yeah, just refresh your YouTube. I'll give you a second. Everybody, if you're watching and listening, refresh your YouTube. I'll wait 10 seconds. Just hit that refresh button, restart the page, and everything should be back to normal for you. And then we can get back into our peoples, bro. I mean, yeah, my whole thing is you take a shot. It might lose the trend line. If it loses the 4-hour 200 moving average, it's dropping down for a possible double bottom. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't, I got to tell you, though, that it's been slowly consolidating with higher lows for a while. And it just tells me it's likely going to break out and break down. But, yeah. Exactly. Hey, Lifer, I can get your thoughts on PEPE. Yeah. I hear everything fine without refreshing. Thank you. It happens, man. Things happen. You never know. I live stream every single day of the year. There's going to be something. PEPE is bullish, man. Look at it. Just look at it. It's like immune to Bitcoin right now, technically. It's showing signs of life. So PEPE looks more bullish than BTC at the moment. The daily, little far for the 21-day moving average, no? I'd like to see it just go sideways on the daily time frame, catch up to the 21. A chance maybe the smaller time frame takes off without us, but I'm just looking for this. I do have a position in PEPE. I am up on it. It's spot. It's, 5,000. It's at 6,000 or something right now. It made 20%. I'm not trying to be a big shot, but I believe it could do good. All right. The U.S. agencies a Russian oil tanker by Iceland carrying something. And it's getting aggressive out there. United States has seized a Russian-flagged oil tanker. Breaking news. Formerly known as Bella 1, renamed the Marinera. The Marinera. In North Atlantic Ocean on Wednesday, following a 2-week pursuit across the Atlantic. The operation, conducted by the U.S. Coast Guard forces, was carried out under a federal court warrant after the vessel was tracked by the USCG Monroe and was found to be in violation of U.S. sanctions related to the Venezuela oil shipments. The seizure occurred amid heightened tensions as Russia's submarine was reportedly shadowing the tanker during its journey. The Marinera was pursued after attempting to evade a U.S. blockade around Venezuela, having previously changed its name and flagged to Russia to avoid detection. It was later tracked near the west coast of Scotland before being intercepted in international waters between Iceland and Britain. The U.S. also seized another sanctioned tanker, the MT Sophia, in the Caribbean Sea during a separate operation, which was described as a stateless sanctioned dark fleet motor tanker engaged in illicit activities. Russia strongly condemned the seizure, accusing the U.S. of violating international maritime law and asserting that no state has the right to use force against vessels registered under another state's jurisdiction. The Russia Transport Ministry stated the vessel has been granted temporary authorization to sail under the Russian flag and that communication with the ship was lost after the U.S. boarding. The U.S. European Command confirmed the seizure was lawful and in accordance with the federal court warrant, with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth affirming that the blockade of the sanctioned Venezuela oil remains in full effect globally. So, you're not allowed to kind of grab some oil on the low and sneak out of there. We're going to get you. The operation marks the first known U.S. military seizure of a Russian-flagged vessel in recent history and is likely to strain the U.S.-Russian relations, especially given the recent capture of the Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, ongoing negotiations over Ukraine. Wow. I eat one meal per day to stay in good shape. You do whatever makes you happy, but it's good to have tension under strength to build muscle. Muscle building is good for when you're older in life. It'll support you when your bones and other things, and also for your ligaments. So you can say you stay in shape all you want, and I'm telling you what I need to tell myself. I said what you said. I do calisthenics. I need to add more muscle. I need to add more weightlifting to my regime because I need to strengthen my muscles. Because they're going to get smaller as I get older. And the more work I can do now, the better off I am. So you do you, but I know that I need time under tension for my muscles. Yeah. What are your thoughts about the U.S. and the Greenland situation? I mean, I'm born in America. I'm blonde-haired, blue-eyed. I am so biased American, it's ridiculous. Let's get Greenland. Let's take it. Give it to us. We want it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. I'm unapologetic about it. It's national security. We got to have it. Honestly, I don't know too much about it. But, in some ways, I shouldn't joke around. But, like, I do think, I'm a biased American, man. I have to be honest with you. And, it's just the facts. I'm not going to lie to you. All right. I'm not going to sit there and, I'm open-minded and no. I'm an American. If someone's not using Greenland properly and we can use it, let's go, baby. I'm a Dane. Take Greenland. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. So we got Danes telling us to take Greenland. As a Brit, totally agree. You should take Greenland. Thank you for the Brit. The Brits are behind us. Yes, Sam, let's go. Let's take Greenland, man. We want Greenland. We desire Greenland, and we desire it today. We need it, USA. I love you people, man. Sam identifies as Captain Puerto Rico. You guys are funny, man. Gold, super chats, gold and silver in Bio USDT. Let's take a look at Bio USDT here. And shout out to everyone. We're having fun today on the stream. It's just been fun, man. I love it. Does everything have to be so serious all the time, or can we actually enjoy our lives sometimes? Like, can we do TA and have fun doing it? I like Bio. I wanted to see it make a nice... See, look at the price action. It's crazy, right? If I was looking to Bio now, we would have to bounce and consolidate this way. When price action is tough, a lot of my stuff ain't going to play out. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Projections won't be perfect. It's going to be saucy. It's going to be slippery when wet. You know what I mean? It's just like... But if you can stay above the 4-hour 200, and we get ourselves a bounce, that's when you want to look at it. So, stay on it. I just don't think it's perfect yet. Greenland is perfect cold weather for crypto mining. If you even just realized they were all just part of this planet Earth, 90% of correction will be done along with the wars. I know, right? Tierra Verde, right? Amen, man. Shout out to Bellico X. Yeah. I do agree. Yeah, then China's going to try to take Taiwan. Agreed. But they just, you have to understand, man, the U.S., I believe, and everybody knows, and I'm going to say something very controversial. I'm going to say it one time, and I'm not going to say it again. But I believe in Bob Lazar. I believe that we backtested engineer craft, and God blessing, more of them crashed here in the U.S. than anywhere else. And we had more technology to retrieve them. We had smarter scientists, and we got more information than everybody else. We have access, and the whole world knows it in the deep state, that we have access to outer world technology that the rest of the countries do not have. And that's why when the U.S. does something, it looks like everyone else will do something, but they simply cannot. And Trump mentions it. He says we have things they don't have. We are the U.S. We are the supreme military power in the world. It is what it is. That's what it is. Everyone thinks it's not, and they think there's like a leg to stand on like there used to be. There is not. We have developed some type of system, some type of weaponry that nobody has, and they know a bit enough, and they've spied on us enough to know, and they keep trying to get it from us, and that's been the battle. China had a spy plane or something off the coast of Venezuela. Okay? This is crazy, bro. Venezuela, there was more going on than you realize. This is a deeper than oil. Things aren't just so simple. If they were that simple, then you would know everything, and you don't. And neither do I. Okay? I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. We're all figuring out the truth as we go. Foo Fighters, though. Germans, amen. Sammy, proud and handy. Earth is flat, stationary, not rotating. God bless you. Yeah. I would love to have a flat Earth, like, because I grew up as the round earther, and I know about flat Earth, and I've dabbled in it, but I'm still like I haven't been cracked yet. So and some people think, I have friends that think I'm completely dumb for thinking that the earth isn't flat. And then I have friends who think I'm completely dumb for even talking to people that think the earth is flat. I don't know, or associates or people I'm with, or you know what I mean? But people that I believe and respect that are smart in other ways. And so I am, I'm just a guy who likes to listen and take in information. But that's on another stream at another time. That's Sam Price. See, that's me. That's what I like to do. If you met me, we would sit and talk about it all day. We could break it down. I like discussions that open my mind. I like to be told things that I don't believe so I can ponder them. I like to question my own beliefs all the time so I can find out a better sense of truth. I think that's great and important, right? The oil was promised 3,000 years ago. So was green. The oil was promised to the 3,000 years ago. So was Greenland. Who's the 3,000? So glad I took your advice and blindly flipped short. Yeah, what happened here? We're in the money now, right? A little bit. Up 5%, 4%. And you didn't take my advice, man. You took your own education that you learned from watching the channel. Okay? You didn't take my advice. I don't give advice. And I see you tried to get me there, but it didn't work. There, I got you there. Hey, buddy, hey. Hey, Sam, can you take a look at silver? Thank you. Let's take a look at silver and gold. I know I get caught up in my but it's important. So I said silver was likely going to make a bit of a flag there. It did that, right? It's actually pretty nicely consolidating. And silver's in a really nice position right now. Honestly, looks like it could be a good entry. That's some pretty nice consolidation considering. Even on the daily. Yeah, I gotta say that silver looks good for continuation. The sell there at the 80 pump was righteous. We came back and hit it again at 82. We bounced back down. I see sideways price action in a breakout to about $101 for silver, baby silver. So silver looks like a win, and it looks like it's a trade. Could be a possible entry right now with stops below the previous lows before it gets too far. I'd like it if it can come back down, but man. It's a 2 to 4. You bring that up. You swing that up. 2.86. I'll take a 2.86. I like silver for a trade. I believe silver is worth trading here. I believe there's a good entry on silver right now based on the daily and the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame. Silver looks like it's headed to $100. Okay. But there's, that's me. Silver, baby, silver. I like the entry on silver right now. Let's take a look at gold. Gold, we were looking for a more elongated pullback for gold, right? Like the daily. But let's see. I mean, right there on the 1 hour, I can see it's also in a flag, you see? First thing I see is this, right off the bat. That could possibly go. Like, that's the first thing I see, and I see a level of possibly, 47? Then we zoom out, and I know we got this projection cooking on the daily. So let's see. The way they're printing money and the dollar is having some trouble now. I mean, this could create a parabola for gold. So now you're looking for like a serious, like a blow off top. Like things are getting quite crazy. And wow. That's your trade for gold right there, like 272. And that's 5771. Looks like it could take off. You look at the dollar and you see where the dollar's at. I mean, that's parabolic for gold, right? Let me take a look at the 30-day, the 5-day. They're the 21 caught up with them. You're not far away from the 21 on the 3-day with stochastics. You have some bear div, but it's just not as strong as it could be. Wow. Yeah, it consolidated into a beautiful uptrend here since that local top on October 21st. And now it just looks like it's going to continue. Man, gold, baby, gold. And it's like, I've been thinking if you like gold, if you've been thinking about a gold necklace, the gold, it's like, the quicker you buy it, the less you'll pay because every day that price of gold gonna go up. Just like George told you about Bitcoin, go up. So gold and silver both looking positioned for a move. Let's take a look at the DXY. Yeah, rejection by the 200 moving average. Looks kind of like it's in a hole. Bear flag. Retest the bear flag. It just looks like it's going lower, folks. You know, and this kind of has descending triangle vibes. And the dollar DXY drops. I mean, gold, silver goes up. Heck, clothes go up. Lamborghinis go up. Real estate goes up. If the dollar keeps losing value, okay. Let's take a look here at what's happening in the chat. Gold is for war. Bitcoin is for flight. McDonald's might have bottomed. I started buying physical and silver about a year ago. I'm up about 125% so far. It's amazing, man. I started buying physical and silver gold in 2009. I noticed George says that weird too. Man, I have a brand new gold ring that I could sell. Bad joke, but I have my make light on my darkness, man. Shout out to the Crypto Taco. We love you, man. You mentioned in the group that the 4 hour would go back to the 21. I sold, made a huge profit on a 10x long. You're the man. You mean a 10x short? Oh, like, yeah, at the top. Yeah, you took the top. Yeah, it was going to, I told my students what was likely going to happen to Bitcoin. I predicted the Bitcoin move for you. I said that, why? How did I do it? Let's just show you how I figured out what Bitcoin was going to do. It's really simple. I'm not a genius. I'm not that smart. It's very simple. Let's break it down. Let's go to the BTC, USD. I like the Bybit chart because I don't use it a lot, so I can go hammer away at it. Let's take a look at the 4 hour time frame, and let's just go back to the pumps we've seen for Bitcoin, even when it's in a bit of an uptrend here. And let me just show you some sauce. Let's go back to, let's show you two of them. But we'll go back to right here. Same thing. Bitcoin was consolidating. I could see a pump. I called a long. We pump. But if you go back to even right here, that's far away from the 21. Even right there. And then you got wicks. And then you got so that tells me you're coming back to the 21-day moving average. You're too far from it. And there you came back to the 21, right? Same thing here. You pumped up high. You drew back. You pumped up high, you drew back. So you can see it happened once, twice, three. You can see I've watched this over and over again. It's what I do. I'm just stuck inside this same. Look, it happened here. Once we were there, we were having to go back to the 21. That time we kind of projected and ripped. But even here, once you got, that was going to be, once you rip like this, it's either, that's why I do my projections. Either we continue or we touch. That's, pretty good spot to possibly get a continuation. That should break out, and it does. And every time you make the gap, back to it. You don't realize, too, how much time that is. Because you're not as what, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 times 4. 48 hours. If you don't believe that, you hit shift and go sideways, you're getting about 19 bars, 20 bars. That's 3 days and 16 hours. How long to hit the 21? About a day and 16 hours. Let's break down from where we are today. How long till we hit the 21 from the breakup? Oh my gosh, a day and 20 hours, right? Or a day and 4 hours. I've seen this over and over again. I told you here we were coming back to the 21. I said it with so much conviction, I was basically positive about it. There was a 95% of me. We didn't know what I was looking for was this. So this is what I do. I do the twisted sister. I tell you guys this. And I said the 4 hours either going sideways or down. I don't know which one, but both of them could create entries. And here we are with flat Toshis here again on the short. Just nothing going right now. Very low volume, very sideways price action. Slow bleed as far as I'm concerned. I can see how the 1 hour could bail us out. I can see the 50 minutes in control until the bulls could do something different. Hey, Lifer, you mind giving me your info and your thoughts on the stock PLTR? God bless. Let's take a look at that J Duff. I have opened short triggers from 90K to 40K. Place your trades. Interesting. I don't do that either, but I hope it works for you. McDonald's should do breakfast all day. The stock would go to 100% in a day. They do that in other parts of the country. Subway had breakfast in Costa Rica when I was 25. I'd never seen breakfast in a Subway, but they had breakfast at a Subway in Costa Rica. You get a breakfast sandwich at Subway and some hash browns. I know you don't believe me. I'm telling you it happened to me. It's real. I know you don't believe me. Breakfast at Subway sandwich shop. No lie. Palantir Technologies on the NASDAQ, says a lifer. You know, last time I looked at it, I was looking at it for it to kind of bounce. It did that. It's making higher lows. I do drill this in a little tighter. And again, if they print this money, I mean, let me look at it in the bigger time frame and really assess. I haven't looked at it. The monthly is a little overbought. I mean, look at it. Like, wow. 19 to 200 from July 1st to November in 2025. So about a year and a half, it did, wow. It did like a 10x, right? Amazing. That monthly looks strong. I'm showing, you know, when the dollar's that weak, it's and people want something. I don't know, man. It's strong. I gotta say, it looks overbought, over-exhausted. Oh, that's so beautiful. Look at your eyes, honey. You are gorgeous. You are gorgeous, too. Oh, my God. A 1.5 and a 4-year-old just looking at me. Oh, my God. And then they're showing me the toys they made. She made this. This is so good. You made this one? Oh, my gosh. And the other one made this one. You made this one? Oh, look at the colors. You put blue on top. And you got the little guy. Here, don't break it. Thank you, kids. Does that mean you want Daddy to come play? It's after 12. So because I work from home and I love my children, I get to go play with my kids right now. You hear that? They want me so bad, bro. They love me, man. It's all, I'm telling you, as the father, you're the nucleus of the family. It's on you. There's been a huge responsibility put on the man. The woman has a huge responsibility too. I don't want to ever downplay. I'm not sexist. I just want men to realize how strong their presence is in the family. Create a nuclear family. Be there for those kids. It's so important. I got to give them my attention today. They need my attention. If I don't give them attention today, they will be devastated. They will feel like I don't care about them. I can tell them I love them all I want, but I got to show them attention. I got to give them my time. I got to go play Legos on the floor right now for a half an hour and let the market do its thing. That's what I got to do as a dad, right? Doesn't mean I'm not going to be in the group all day. I will be. You know, Palantir honestly looks somewhat bullish to me. It looks like it's extended. It looks like it shouldn't keep pumping, but the daily is making a higher low and it's very tight. And it looks like it's going to get probably pushed up one more time. I don't know if we'll go to 339. Maybe we'll get stopped out at 275 or something, but it does look like it's going to continue to pump. So, dang, man gave us 15 extra minutes, and I wish I could be with my kiddo, man. She turned 1.5 today. Thanks for everything, Sam. God bless you. I'm going to tell you guys something that I will admit, but when my kids first when my first child was born and I had to be at work and know she was at daycare, some days I broke down alone. I don't care who knows about it, like, because I was a highly sensitive kid. I went through a lot growing up. I struggled just as a kid to feel and learn the world because I was very sensitive to all of my environment. And when my kid, thank God she was stronger than me, I think, in some ways. But, I would drop her off and she would cry. And I'd have to get on my bike and ride home and then get on the train. And last thing I saw was my little baby crying at a daycare, And it really, really pulled my heartstrings. Now my wife works from home. She doesn't have to go to work no more. I made sure my wife doesn't have to work so she can be there with my children. I made some big steps in my life to make sure that my family was together every day. All right. And now my kids are with me every day. I'll never go through that again. Never again, man. I didn't have the money. I was susceptible to the system. My children went to wherever I could put them. I had to work for a living. I could not work from home. I didn't have my own business. I didn't have my own sense of income. I wasn't a great, I traded, but, and I had some crypto. It worked out. I was working out, but this was 10 years ago, man. My first child was born 11 years ago. She's 11 and a half almost. So I love you all. I appreciate you. Keep fighting. Never stop. It never gets easier. It gets harder, but we get better at taking care of it. So yeah, it does get tougher. Yeah, it does get more difficult, but we get better, everybody. Our habits form. Our mind forms better habits. We get stronger every day. And if we work on ourselves, we'll be better than we were yesterday. And that's all we can really pray for and hope for. So, facts, bro. I had to make sure my money was right before the kids to avoid having to live that. Yeah, I kept saying that, and then I had kids when I was in debt. You know. Worst feeling in the world, Sam, when your kids are crying because they don't want you to leave. That's why I started trading. Me too, man. That was the main reason I wanted to become financially independent. I didn't want to leave my kids with a daycare anymore. I didn't want my wife going to school anymore. Having to drive 5:30 a.m. on the BQE, you know? And now my lovely wife doesn't do that, right, my life? Can you talk about how your family life has changed from my ability to change, you know? There's a real family group here right now. You just got to talk about how your life has changed, man. You had to go to, you were a school teacher in Brooklyn on the BQE, making like 40 grand a year. Like, you made $3,600 a week.
Yeah, a month.
A month.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
It's been awesome. Him being able to learn how to trade crypto and then becoming a crypto trader has changed both of our lives because I get to stay home. And I will like to say that even when I had one kid, I was going to night school and he worked really hard so that I could go to night school and so that my kids didn't have to be in daycare. And I totally respect people who do have to put their kids in daycare. Unfortunately, sometimes we need two people working to make ends meet. But crypto is awesome and it's definitely changed both of our lives for the better. And of course, it was all God's will. So pray first and work hard and pray at the same time.
When she worked, I didn't have I need support. I do, man. She's there for me all the time. And she helps me think through ideas. She's always there to build with. I build my business with her. We build together. She's my rock. She's my heart. She's my soul, my foundation. And you know, when she was at work all the time, we were separated. And we couldn't build all the time. And I kept telling her if we could just start a business together, I know we could survive. I know we could do something. And I prayed for it. And God gave us that gift. And so of all the things that I truly love is that the fact that I get to work with my wife every day, my best friend. And that to me was the biggest accomplishment ever. And that I get to spend every day with her now here in Florida. And I get to live like a life that feels like I live in heaven with my wife, man. You know, as this stupid trade goes absolutely nowhere. And we may be digging in for the bounce, you know. And I'll tell you guys what I end up doing and what happens to this market. I feel like at this point I should just leave the trade, you know. It's like, if it didn't play out this time, what's the point? So, but remember, man, family was the reason I did everything I did. It was for family. And family is freedom, because when you have more freedom, you have more time for your family, period. At daily stochastics don't look good. This could be a bigger dump, man. You know, I don't know. Where you? Oh, yeah. Why can't we go together? Wouldn't I follow you though? Oh, so I just got to, when I leave, I go right there to Ghetto Honda. So let's take a look here. I mean, this still could reverse. That candle's strong green on the 1 hour. Now we got 38 minutes. You wait for this to close. See how the game plays? It's like they're setting up a short on the daily, but they're making the 1 hour look. It's weird, man. Traders risk money for freedom. Amen. That's what happens. We take the money we have, we keep risking it till finally we hit it so big we don't have to work for someone ever again. That's the name of the game, man. That's what we're all here for. That's what everybody is here for. More time with their friends, more time with their free time. Gain back. And we talked about how our life, we're going to, you know, if you're 40 like me, I have 36 years. If I'm lucky, I'll be 43. That means I have 33 years as the average male. Okay? Now, hopefully I'll live better than that because I'm healthier, but you never know. So I got 43 years as the average male. And, you know, if I cut off the short and I lose and it dumps, I won't care. But if it rips and I lose, I'll be more pissed. So I have to ask myself, what am I more mad about? Am I more about losing the short or am I mad about winning the long? I really don't care about short. I'm not passionate about a short. I'm more passionate about catching the bottom. What I want to do is lower the risk. But then I could get stopped out so easily, right? You can tell I personally don't like the trade. It could become an Adam and Eve double bottom over time. Like, that's what we're looking for now. I kind of, when you only lose $40 and you've been in the trade for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I think that's a win. I call that a win because, like, I got to watch price action. I got to find out if I had the guts to pull the trigger or not. And I did, and I'm still here. So it's like, okay. I guess I could lose 130. It's just, I don't know. And don't do what I'm doing right now. It's not the perfect trade. I've been turning $40 into 100 every day and buying a Litecoin with it for the past week consistently. That sounds pretty cool. I like that. That's kind of something, that's what I did to get wealthy. I made little bits of gains and then bought assets with them. Little bits of gains, bought assets with them. Little bits of gains and bought assets with them. Hey, man, I think that's the coolest thing I've ever heard on the stream. Yeah, but that's exactly what I did. Yeah. So 1 minute is above the 200. Yeah, there's my signal. But I got to catch the 21 now. We did it a few times, but it was a fake out. Look at this. There's an inverted head and shoulder there now on the 15. That tells me that I'm going to lose. That should break out up to the 200. And then that will close the candle in the 1 hour, right? Look how hard this is for me, and I'm doing it every day. All right? I don't want it to be easy. I don't mind a tough day in trading. I've had really sweet days too, where the market looks like it's going to go. I make the trade and it goes there. So I got to remember the sweet days too when the days are tough. That's a double bottom. It digged in. I think I'm going to close this puppy. It's tough though. It still is in this. Wow. Easy to do when you don't have 1,000 people watching you. I agree. You can just kind of like do what you need to do. But everyone's watching me. Like they're gonna, if I close it and we dump, everyone's like, oh, what a. I am really thinking about what everyone's thinking about me. I always say I'm not insecure, but I guess it affects me, man, because I care what people think. I don't want to be a loser. Who wants to be a loser, man? Nobody. I close this trade, it dumps in my face, and I was like, wow, he's a flip-flopper, right? I keep the trade open, I get stopped out. At least I kind of stuck to my guns. Wow. Some days trading will leave you speechless. I got it at 92K, stop at break even. Crypto doesn't make like it used to, so hard to predict now. We love you, Sammy, gorgeous wife. God has blessed you. Thank you for blessing us with your knowledge. Thank you. Sir, I'm a professional thumbnail designer. If you want, I will make it for you. Just make me, we have someone that's doing it. I like my thumbnails. I think people say my thumbnails are amazing. Yeah, I like my thumbnails better than the other ones, so I don't know. I took profits from Bitcoin, bought Solana, and build Sol USD position for more Sol. Okay. Someone saying, I've been saying to look at the 8 hour. I've already looked at the 8 hour. We looked at it today. We said it could stay above the 200 moving average and actually hold us down. Or actually, no, it lost the 200. 8 hours on the 21, though. It's in a bull flag on the 21. That could be a nice breakout, too. Yeah. The 1 hour will give you a simple signal, but I get it. You're spot on there. 33 minutes. We can close a bullish engulfing candle. That will say we're going to reverse. So I lowered the risk in the trade. Honestly, this says we're gonna break out. I should switch long in the 1 hour with the stop below and take us and squeeze these shorts. Yeah. But then we're on the 21 below the 200. I thought I'd be able to fix this by now. I'm like stuck in limbo here. What the heck, man? Yeah, I lose 130, they come and get me. Then I can just like call it a day, right? Let the trade make the decision for me. Look like a breakout now. These market makers are good. I'll have to make my own way out there, man. We should look at Theta token. Theta. Theta? Man, they fell off. Like, you know what I mean? The Rolling Roadshow, go buy them girls some ice cream. Thank you. That's so nice of you to do that, dude. Send me $20 for my kids. Like, dang. You people are the nicest people I ever met in my life. Like, this stream is insane. Like, I will do this forever. I'll never stop. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Don't hit the reverse button, everyone. It's the worst. It's so high in fees on both sides. It's like market opening too. You know what I mean? It'll drain your account. Don't do that. Yeah. And let's just take a look. I'm not missing any fan funding real quick. Thank you. Go buy them girls some ice cream, man. Sorry, Crazy. Ever thought why you marry? I don't know what he's saying, but I love my wife. It was the best thing ever for me. And wow, we got a lot of super chats today, man. Shout out to everyone here who did that. I appreciate that. You didn't have to give like that. You people are awesome. May God bless you. It's very nice of you. $137 in chat revenue. It's amazing. Sammy, take a look at the 8 hour. Looks like it's bouncing off the 21. Yeah, I just said that. But let's take a look, I think, because he just sent it in, so we'll do a clean look at it. That was Binance, yeah. So I had the Bybit chart, right? Yeah. Yeah, when we look at the 8 hour, it is bouncing off the 21-day moving average, right? And there's a lot of support here, too. This would be so sick if we made something like this, you know? We got the bounce back to the top of the channel. That's your dip buy right there. I can't believe I'm still in this thing, man. Wow. Nuts. 3 hours to lose $50. I'll take it. I close it, we dump in 2 seconds. I'll be okay with that, though. Like, I won't care. I really won't. I want us to pump. I desire a pumpalowski. 100K in the next 2 days. That's it. That's it. I'm just seeing some mixed signals in the market. I'm paralyzed right now. It's weird. Even I am. Just like, this must happen to every trader, right? You get to the point where just like, go for a walk. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's like, what do you do in this situation? What do you do when you're in this situation? The Dems are lizard people for sure, though. Oh, yeah. Reptilians. Took my gain. Short paid 70% lifer. Right. Yeah, again. Now let's get the big picture on the daily. USA isn't run by Americans. It's run by dual citizens with higher interest in another country. Ooh. Well played. Man, Sam, the 3D Bollinger Bands, it's looking real tight. A big move is coming soon. Interesting. Do you think down the 88 level and bounce? Stare at the screen until I go mad? I know, right? Stick with the initial idea. 1 minute gonna blast. Oh, yeah, the 1 minute's making the signal. I'm out. I'm out. I am out. Yeah, I'm not gonna go against my signal, man. No. I gotta have one thing that I do every time. So I took a shot on the 15. Actually, the 21 hasn't crossed yet, so I front ran it. I could still see it going either way, folks. There's some certain things that gotta happen for the Bulls to win. We did double bottom there. We are possibly making a move. If I were to trade, I'm looking for that 1 hour to close the tweezer bottom first, which will happen in, you go to labels, remember? Countdown to bar close. 28 minutes. So 28 minutes. If that closes green, I think it's a advantageous long with a bounce back to the top of the channel. But if not, then no. Really strong support there, that resistance that became support. I don't think we'll, just back to 94,000, but, let's dig in. Let's see if we can get the green candle close. I'll update you in 27 minutes as to what's happening. I did end the short. Got chewed twice. Very small amounts, but it was pointless, really. So, there you have it, man. Remember, we made $7,000 in 2 days, so don't worry about my 2 losses of $70 and $120. It's about I trade big. The big money comes on the bigger time frames when we catch a bigger move. Wow, look at this move here now. Back to 600. So here, what I like about this trade is I like to trade near the 200 moving average on support with my stop below the 200. It's not a 3-to-1. I can get it to like 2.5, so it's not really the best trade. I like 3-to-1, so it doesn't give me the best return. 90,466. $7,000 for 6. Now, that one I would do like 3 for 8, something like that. 344 for 8. Looks like there could be that reversal coming now. You got to wait for the candle to close or you front run. It's up to you, but I think it's good to wait for the candle to close. Let me show you the screen. Might be a good idea. I was about to jump on out of here. But yeah, I'm just looking at this right here. Take profit, 94.15. Stop loss, 94.66. Man, it's a 2.59 risk reward ratio. Not the best, but it is what it is. It also, you can see, could end up being a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder that breaks us out of here too. So I see some signs of a move. I gave up on the short. And again, I usually make more money anyway doing my, and oh yeah, the 1 minute was showing the signal, which it actually did break from there. And now we're looking for the 21 to touch the 200 above the 200 moving average. The 21 to touch price action above the 200. That could be a nice long right now. You do whatever makes you happy. No one can press the button for you but you. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. I love you. I appreciate you, and I'll be back tomorrow. If you want to trade where I trade, we have links to the exchanges in the pinned comment. If you want to look at more, go to cryptolifer.com and sign up to the Discord. I'm there every day. If you just want to learn what I'm doing, if you want to get my information, I'm selling it. You can get it for $3 a day. Go to cryptolifer.com to get it, all right? Everyone, thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you all. Thank you so much for this extended stream, an extra half an hour here. And maybe it was a good idea to cut off that show. Looks like we're trapping the shorts. So, yeah, I love you all. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless for all the super chats, all the support, and all the love. Today was amazing. I'll be back tomorrow. The secret to success is getting started, baby. Keep moving. Don't stop. Spread that love around the world, baby. Let everybody know how much love you got. Let's go. Let's go.
Spread your love.